Let the love, let the love and the feeling of the real human Breenius pour over you. This is the Neil Breen appreciation hour. Some shit. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
I feel like I'm about ready to grow a proper beard made of somebody else's hair.
Probably, yeah. No, my mind has been so completely and utterly, irrevocably altered in every way because
Oh,
of Twisted Pair.
did
I can't even articulate to you like what I saw last night.
well, so I mean, so safe to say then, like, did any of Neil's you know, understandable and respectable moral superiority rub
Mm-hmm.
off on you?
Um, yes. I now want to fight all the greedy corporate bankers and corrupt overlords with my hyper enlightened AI hybrid futurist
Dish
powers.
TV,
This t-
Dish TV powers.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I want to get this out of the way right now before I start gushing even more about the fact that I went to go see the new Neil Breen. Um, he does not wreck any laptops in this movie, and that was actually probably the biggest letdown of the whole film. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you know, you can only get so much of what you want
Uh,
in this world of ours.
yeah. So somebody, Gabby was asking. I thought we streamed on Wednesdays and Fridays. We do, but everybody was really nice. Nick was really nice, and the community was really nice. We asked on Wednesday whether or not I could go see Neil Breen last night, and then we just do a show today. Like we just, and we're gonna have like it'll be a casual thing. We're just gonna hang out. We're gonna look at some stupid articles and have some fun and just hang out with you dudes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I did put a proper format together tonight, and I hope you all enjoyed me probably getting full on kicked off of Amazon as a reviewer. Because at a certain point last night, I got this message saying like, you have reached the maximum numbers of verified reviews we can accept from you.
The
I was
catching
like,
on, man.
oh my, I think they're on to me.
Yeah, I think they're on to you. You're gonna have to
Well,
like make a
I
fake Amazon account now.
oh no, I'll go that way. Honestly, what I really need to do is I really need to I need to make a couple new Yelp accounts
Uh-huh.
because well, I mean, I ended up going on a TripAdvisor and trying to review things from Manchester, and it was great because this is like, Manchester as a city is such a shit show.
It is.
That when it comes to the TripAdvisor, there was an unfinished entry for a spot to go to, which is called Irish Pub and Grill.
Okay.
Uh, I knew which one it was, but apparently it was a duplicate for another place. But yeah, it gave no reference, and also there was a standing account for a bar which closed down about 4 years ago, and turned into something else. The thing it turned into has no entry, but that place did, and I'm like, this is the best place I've ever been that doesn't exist anymore. Holy shit!
So Manchester is
I
such a
I
ghetto.
I fought the bus boy, and nobody cared.
Manchester is such a fucking ghetto that even their TripAdvisor page is like outdated and nobody wants to go there.
Yeah, no, there's no this. Listen, I mean, like,
It's
I'm about
fantastic.
the only reason to come to this city anymore,
Hmm.
and even I'm just like sort of starting to fade in that respect.
Even
People
I'm
like,
not sold on myself, you know?
yeah, people, no, not just that. It's like people who've been here. They're like, I love visiting and hanging out with dude, and it's a great time, but I'm not sure it's worth having to put up with that fucking place.
Hmm. Speaking of having to put up with places, Portland was pretty intolerable. However, I mean, okay, so I went up there. I got to see the new Neil Breen. Goose, Bees, and Lord Magma were there. And it's always good to see some of the Portland Saints family, and it was great. We got to watch the video together or the movie together. It was phenomenal. But after I left their company, because we went after the show to the nearby bar to go get some food, have some drinks. After that, I went on an epic long adventure trying to find some old friends of mine who used to work in strip clubs. And holy fucking shit, everybody in Portland is such an asshole. Fuck. Just the most cruelest, nasty fucking people in the world. Just bitchy.
I'll say that my experience in Portland has been kind of limited to how do I put this delicately? Imported pussy.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, like nothing that's come out of Portland. I mean, there was the one albino, and granted, like she like felt she owed me because I had her. I helped get her ex-husband sent to prison for
Mm-hmm.
revenge porn.
Right.
Okay, and that was a lot of fun while it lasted. And then she got back, and apparently the boyfriend she had was really upset about things. Who would have
Okay.
guessed?
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah, but
oh, oh! She had a boyfriend while she was over in Manchester, fucking you.
oh, not just that, she had a boyfriend. This is the funny thing. Like before, it was a catch-all
Jesus
term
Christ,
for
man.
talentless edgy boys when we were still using the term cuck, like for
Mm-hmm.
its actual meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he only had one rule for her: don't suck his dick.
Did she?
What do you think?
Yeah, yeah,
Why do you think he was upset?
yeah. Okay. Well, that
Yeah,
makes sense
yeah.
then. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, my experiences with Portland, I mean, from what I hear, and it's kind of a tragedy, right?
Mm.
It as a city, lots to do, lots to
Yeah.
see.
It's beautiful.
Great.
It's a
It's a
beautiful
great
city.
place, but the people who are there are fucking terrible.
Yes. Which is why when I lived there, I'd always live in like the ghettos, like the really shitty parts of town, because everybody was a lot more real and decent to each other.
I
But
hear, I've heard New Orleans is going that same way.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, New
Like
Orleans is
Miles.
just full of yuppies now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the
Stop
thing.
the
I mean, like, keep in mind,
asking
this is the city where a bunch of Midwestern New York and West Coast hipster yuppie types moved in because, they're gonna revitalize the place with their vegan cafes and shit. And they're like, I love the culture here in New Orleans so much, but oh, there's so much noise. Can we get a noise ordinance
Oh my
passed? It's like,
god. Oh my
and
god.
when they tried that, every brass band and second line in the goddamn city banded together, did a second line through town, marched on City Hall, filled the fucking. And if you've never been to New Orleans City Hall is a massive, massive fucking building. It looks like the
Huge.
fucking UN building,
It
and
does.
yeah, and their front lobby, like the foyer, that shit is about the size of an office building unto itself.
Mm.
So imagine, if you will, like maybe like upwards of 1,000 New Orleans brass street musicians piling in there and then jamming together and then stating that they will not leave or stop until they get a guarantee that the noise ordinance is dead and it will never come back.
And they got it.
They got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta love those. You gotta love our Big Easy people because there's still real people living there, just like everywhere else, except for New England.
Right.
Uh, but yeah,
J JSC Hong says, "Hi Nick, think you'd be up for a poetry or literature workshop stream in the future? I'm working on some experimental work influenced by Black Sabbath. That's cool.
hmm, you've definitely caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up on Twitter. That'd be dope. Because I keep meaning to do another writers stream, except most of the writers that I used to do that with now want nothing to do with YouTube. Because
Yeah.
because so much of what passes for content here is just abject shit. And yeah, so but yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that, and maybe you too can find yourself running back into your art and away from the internet because it's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. The internet's a pretty terrible place.
Mm.
I okay. Can I do spoilers for the Neil Breen movie? You know, I'm gonna leave it up to the chat. I'm not gonna talk anymore about it unless the chat specifically is like we're fine with
Yeah,
spoilers. If nobody wants
because
it spoiled,
yeah, I
then
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, if there's one thing we know about Neil Breen films, it's that like the plot hooks and shit. We're talking like early M. Night Shyamalan level, like
Oh
wow,
my god.
mind blown kind of shit. So
Dude, the CGI is amazing.
it's like watching Side Quest.
No, side quest looks better.
Well, I mean, no, clearly, I mean, if yeah, no, that's the thing. Like when I watched like the previews and shit, I'm like, oh, somebody learned basic chroma key and After Effects. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, oh my god. It just I think the whole thing was shot. I think it's like shot at the University of Phoenix or something like that. Like the whole movie takes place in one house. I think probably an Airbnb they rented, and a college campus.
You can tell that right off the bat from the trailer too. It's like, wow, hey, look, it's a college with a bio lab and a theater and an engineering section. Okay.
The mustache, the fake mustache held on by packaging tape is also pretty amazing in that movie. It's pretty good. Oh, so okay, one of the reasons why it was so good to see it, and I recommend if you guys get it, if he's premiering it in your town, you should go and see it. You absolutely should. It's very worth it. The Clinton Street Theater in Portland is great because that's where they do like Rocky Horror Picture Show. They do a lot of like really weird subversive underground cinema. But like when you watch a movie like Twisted Pair, there is no being quiet. Nobody is quiet. Everybody's screaming and laughing and shouting like shit at the screen constantly. Like that's what you go there for. It was hilarious. Like, fuck. Oh my god, man.
Well, what fucking astounds me about Breen specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is so like Tommy Wiseau initially was kind of upset about the fact that like his movie was bad and everyone could tell. But then like he pretty quickly is like, "Oh no, I am so happy to have made this terrible movie everyone loves."
Mm-hmm.
Neil Breen though really does think he's a master filmmaker, doesn't he?
You know, he doesn't give a lot of interviews, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I think he does take his filmmaking very serious. I think he probably has a pretty decent sense of humor, though, because like he's not very vocal about it, but he's shown appreciation for Your Movie Sucks, like bringing his movie to the world.
Mm.
You know, so that was pretty cool.
So he's at least got to be somewhat aware of the fact that
he's somewhat self-aware. Yeah.
Nobody can really take his movie seriously, even though he really does. Because I'm sure in this one it was because I know he plays two characters, and I'm guessing both of them twin brother.
Cade and Kale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kale. There's a dude.
Yeah. I'm very much certain that both of them had their own versions of moral superiority. Which made everybody else look like a bunch of just plebs, right?
Yeah. Oh, Goose is saying the sassiest black woman he's ever seen was that's true. She was sitting right behind me. Invited us to karaoke too, but I didn't go.
Oh, you should have.
But she's really nice. She's cool. She's there with her girlfriend, and they were wonderful. Yeah, fuck, shouting all sorts of shit at the screen. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you know how in Neil Breen movies he has really weird relationships, like weird relationships.
Does he have a wife that just dies and then he doesn't give a fuck again?
No, well, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but I will say, like, you get introduced to her in the most fucked up way. Like, they have a weird fetish. So there's a scene where Neil Breen is walking on the campus, past a homeless man who has a couple of fake rats next to him. I imagine they were supposed to be portraying real rats because they did move them in between shots, so it looked like they maybe moved a little. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so and this woman walks up and he like bumps into her and he's like, "Hey, oh, sorry about that. No, you're really pretty. You should meet me here at 8:00. We'll meet here back at 8:00." She's like, "No, fuck you. What the fuck?" And she runs off. And you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's in the trailer. Like,
yeah,
just let me get you a drink. Let me buy you a drink.
Right. And then later at 8:00, she doesn't show up, and he's like, what the fuck? So he goes to her house. He breaks inside, and he fucking assaults her. And she like has a conveniently placed painting and smashes it over his head. And they're like wrestling around. And he's like, "You're gonna get it, bitch. You're gonna get it." And all of a sudden they stop, and he's like, "What's for dinner?" And she's like, "Oh, Cade." And that was their thing they do as a couple. That's what human couples do, right? That's how you guys like relate to each other when you're in a relationship, right?
Yeah. No, I mean,
like a simulated
I'm not too good at relationships, but I'd imagine that's what a healthy one would be like.
Yeah, I guess so. I've been doing it wrong all these years, man. It's weird.
Well, now, all right. Before we jump into the news, though, I mean, is it worth noting that, so we've been speaking about the brilliance / retardation of Neil Breen, but it is the 19th.
So what?
It is the 19th.
And what's the 19th?
And our boys, not only just Fat Pat and Sofame, but the Gable.
Oh,
They're in well, they're in a specific city in Tennessee, the one they set out to get to.
oh, they did go.
They went. They're
Oh my
there
god.
right now.
Oh my god.
Fane is drunk tweeting. I'm sure it's gonna be a magical night. Um,
Huh. Well, I hope everybody has fun.
I hope everybody has fun, and I hope that the slap fight in the Waffle House dining room doesn't go on too long, but just long enough for somebody to scream "World Star," so the
Yep.
aesthetic can be complete.
Yeah. Yeah. That whole thing is like the last thing I even want to give that much of a shit about, though. To be honest with you, I'm just like,
I'll be honest. I've been like trying to avoid paying attention, but the shit just keeps popping up, and the more I look, and the more I see of it, the more I'm like, how in the fuck could any of these kids talk the slightest amount of shit about Kilroy?
yeah.
Because Kilroy fucking happened. Here's the thing. Kilroy fucking happened. People showed up unironically. So I guess in this sense, I mean, I could just say that like I win again. 'Cause I always do. Like
I
a
got
cat laying on my feet.
I got something else today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to show it off.
Yeah, Jeff went shopping.
Yeah, I went shopping.
Jeff went
For
shopping.
something that I've been looking for a while.
Jeff went to Cabela's.
Yes, I did. Got myself a lever action 3030. Yeah,
I
boy.
do I do love the fact though that this lever action 3030 has a fucking scope rail on top of it. So if you need it to be a fallout weapon, it's a fallout weapon.
Yes, it's already been tapped and drilled and got a
You
rail
know,
mounted on it. I'm really
you,
happy.
you know what you need to do? You need to be an absolute cunt about it, and you need to take this like classic cowboy rifle, and you need to put like a carbon fiber stock and shit on it, at a laser sight. All the any tactical thing you can,
Yep.
like put a mini chainsaw bayonet on that shit. Just
Oh
do
yeah.
it.
Well, okay, so I gotta figure out. I want to figure out like eventually I'm gonna get it, take it to a gunsmith and get it milled so I can have a silencer put on it. Uh,
Suppressor.
a suppressor, excuse me, a suppressor. But then I gotta figure out a way. So I'll probably have a suppressor about that long. So I gotta figure out a way to get a bayonet that's longer than that. So I'm thinking like a wakizashi or some shit.
Just mount a fucking like internet katana on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like mount a 440 like Chinese steel katana on the
Nothing
bottom.
personal, kid. That'd be great.
Nothing personal, kid, but I've been training with this rifle since you were trying to kiss a girl.
Somebody's saying 30-30 is worthless, 44 is better. Look, not if you're actually going deer hunting at any decent range. Anyway, let's not get into gun talk. I'm very happy. I've been looking
Yeah,
for a gun just like this for a long time.
I've been actually like I still only own one gun, and then tonight I stumbled on a Hickok 45 video where he's like, and it was the same one actually like when I mentioned I wanted a Beretta, and you which one? What was the one you
I saw a Beretta 92
Yep.
FS
Yeah,
that I
direct.
almost
Yeah,
got.
92 FS. That
John
was like
McClane's gun.
the classic Beretta, and I was like watching like Hickok just go to town with this thing, and I'm like, I'm not that good a shot, but I still want one.
Ready for bow. Yeah.
But that's fine. I'll just continue carrying my 40 cal Baby Desert Eagle on the back of on the small of my back as though I'm Raymond Reddington. And then I'll just, if I ever have a reason to shoot someone, I'll just make sure to regale them with this wonderful story about this gorgeous blonde I met in Las Vegas one time. We
Yeah.
were talking over some cheese. I can't remember what it was, but it was so good.
Let's see. So Addy Monster says, "Love you guys. Feeling under the weather and all together just blah. I want to hang out and drop some $1 bands all night, but my head is cloudy and heavy. Please have a great night. And Jeffo, can you do a review of the film on your third channel? I should do that actually. If you're feeling under the weather, Addy, you should just lay down and listen to the soothing sounds of our voices.
Well, my voice, but all the same, I kind of.
Fuck.
Well, no, I mean, it ain't even the $1 that I'm like missing, because like I'll say honestly, like during last night's stream, Addy's $1 shitpost chats were they were fucking gold.
They're wonderful. Yeah.
They always
Addy
are.
has a rare singular talent. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. What do we? Oh yeah,
We're gonna
this is
have
where we're starting. Okay,
yeah, we're gonna start out. It's kind of a downer, guys, but
we'll
you
take it
know
down and then we'll bring it back up. There's two downers actually, kind
exactly.
of.
Well, no, there's a downer and then there's an honorable hua or
Huh?
hoorah rather. Hua is yeah, no hoorah.
Whoas.
Hoorah. Hua is for the army, hoorah is for the Marines. But bork 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 bork. That's right.
Boo. Boo.
Boo, the world's cutest dog dies at age 12.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
very sad. I mean,
It
you
is.
gotta have seen Boo by now.
Yeah.
Boo is just absolutely adorable. I didn't realize that Boo was 12 though. That's insane.
I can barely actually accept in my conscious human mind that Boo was an actual physical mammal.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was like because I didn't
Fucking
see it move for a
the,
while. You
the
know?
thing's like a fucking anime character, for Christ's
Yeah.
sake.
I
Yeah,
kind of assumed that Boo was not real, and then I saw a video of Boo moving around. I'm like, that's a robot. But no.
how do I get a robot like that? My wife will never want another child again. It's
Yeah,
just
dude.
like yeah, honestly, like if fellas, if you're out there, if you're if you're newly married and you're like she's talking about babies, but you're thinking like why would I want to do that to any child? I've seen the world. I'm on Twitter. I wouldn't want to do that to a person. Get them one of these kind of dogs, and that's what my brother tried to do. My brother is his solution to putting off having children was to get his wife a dog.
How'd she
Thus
take
far,
that?
they still have no kids.
Hey, must be a pretty damn good dog.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the January blues hadn't gotten to you, the world's cutest dog Boo has died of a broken heart. Brings the CNN just trying to bring you down a little bit more. It's what they're good at. The Pomeranian Boo and his companion Buddy, who died last year, became internet sensations when their American owners started sharing pictures of their adorable antics in a desperate bid to be relevant in the modern age. Wait, oh, that wasn't written. I'm sorry, I just saw that.
Mm.
His death was confirmed in a post made by his owners to his 16 million Facebook followers. Fucking hell.
Wow.
Yep,
Damn.
and he was 12 years old in human years. That is pretty fucking good. That's 84 years old in dog years.
That's true. That's
That's
pretty.
an
That's not bad. That's not bad, especially like. Well, I mean, some little dogs will live to like 20 years old, but I mean,
It
the
just
more
gets sad past 15 though.
yeah, and the more purebred they are, the more god awful their health usually is.
Yeah, and honestly, like, well, with the sheer amount of genetic manipulation that like must have been required to make this thing this cute,
Mm-hmm.
I I'm amazed it wasn't stillborn to begin with. Now a Facebook post, verified Facebook post from Boo 19 hours ago. Dearest friends of Boo, with deepest sadness, I wanted to share that Boo has passed away in his sleep early this morning and has left us to join his best friend Buddy.
Aw.
Our family is heartbroken, but we find comfort in knowing he's no longer in any pain or discomfort, which tells us, like, yes, this was an old dog. This is an old
Yeah.
dog that was dying badly. And these genetically manipulated dogs, which is basically every dog. But I mean, it's like German Shepherds. German Shepherds get hip dysplasia, fucking what, like 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and they
If
usually don't live longer than 8 years old.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I actually watched my dad's old dog when I was a kid. I remember he lived to like 14, and everything after about 9 was just a miserable existence for him.
I bet. Yeah.
But yeah, so shortly after Buddy died, Boo showed signs of heart issues. We think his heart literally broke when Buddy left us.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Well, normally I'd say, wow, that sounds like a bunch of hokey bullshit. But at the
Oh my
same time, one thing I have noticed, like, I mean, I've actually seen this. Dogs will die with their pack
They
rather
will.
than live on their own.
Yeah, they will.
And honestly, I really wouldn't be that surprised if after Buddy died, if Boo really wasn't just done,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's like his packmate, yeah.
Yeah.
He hung on and gave us over a year, but it looks like it was his time, and I'm sure it was his most joyous moment for them when they saw each other in heaven.
Oh fuck me. Fuck off.
Okay. Yeah, listen, I mean, even if you're Christian, no animals get into heaven. That's one of the best, that's one of the biggest and most effective ways Christians break children's heart outside of when priests touch their genitals. Um, so our family is heartbroken. But we find comfort in knowing he's no longer in any pain. The announcements met with shock from Boo's fans, several of whom said they were in tears at the news. Venus, the two-faced cat, a chimera cat with over 1 million Facebook fans, wrote, "He's a true legend, and we've so enjoyed following him for the past 6.5 years." In addition to his social media presence, Boo was appointed 2012 as Virgin America's official pet liaison. He also had a book deal.
Hit.
Hang on. I just need to digest that for a second.
Yeah.
Appearing in photo books, including Boo, The Life of the World's Cutest Dog, published in 2011. Hey, you know what? You know what, Vernaculus? Vernaculus, I know you're watching this. Guess what? Yeah, you might have gotten your book deal after me and then fulfilled it before me, and maybe I'm still struggling to catch my deadline, but we both lost to this tiny Pomeranian.
Yeah.
I hope Drunk Sofane is watching this stream while being bored by the UFC fight that's not happening, just so he can go home and say, "Sid Vicious, why haven't you written a book yet?
Yeah.
Fucking lazy ass bitch."
Fucking Sid, come on, man.
Yeah. The dog discussed how he handled fame in 2012 interview with CNN. "Life hasn't changed much for me," he said. "I like to stay at home, play with toys, and pal around with Buddy." To which Anderson Cooper was like, "How in the fuck are you speaking English? Wow, this acid kicked in real quick." Previous rumor. A previous rumor that Boo had passed away was debunked by Anderson Cooper in 2012 after he came down.
Hard-hitting fucking journalism, man. I tell you
That's some
what.
serious shit. And I love the fact, too, that I opened all of these windows for myself while I had my VPN going are telling me, it's all telling me the weather in Bucharest. So, thank you, Tunnel Bear.
Well, there you go.
Rest in peace, Boo Boo.
Yeah, rest in peace, Boo.
You were a very cute dog.
Wow,
and
this is a bunch of random ass shit. Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That thing is, no, it's obnoxiously cute. Like, it's like almost like beneath that happy, cute face, you could tell there was just this well of like, I must scream, but I can only bark.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and like, it's like a bunch of, meh, meh, meh. Oh, he's so cute. And when it's translated, it's like, I want to die. I want to die. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't even know who you fucking people are anymore.
I feel nothing but agony at the existential horror of my own existence. Please kill me. Please kill me.
It's like when he started crying, you know, when the dog started like maybe weeping and like, you know, murmuring about Buddy, and the owners are like, he was heartbroken about Buddy. It's like, but why did Buddy get to go and I'm still here? Why? Why does Buddy get all the best stuff? Oh God. Oh fuck. I wish Sofane would come and just embarrass me to death.
Jesus Christ, what a cute fucking dog. All right.
Yeah. I wish I could have a moment in my life that was half as happy as that dog actually looks.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever happened. Not for me, at least. All right. Well, enough about Boo. One Connect says, but all dogs go to heaven. Disney says, well, Disney lies to you.
You know, Disney also said all the Jews need to burn. So.
Mm-hmm. JSC Hong says, my kitty got up to 20, had her since I was 1. Wow. Damn. Wow.
Well, see, this is the thing. I had a cat. Like, I actually had a cat. Her name was Libby. She was born on the 4th of July. She was a calico. Libby was short for Liberty, because we're patriots, real patriots. But yeah, but no, I mean I watched that cat live till 24. I wish she died when she was 18. Yeah. For pets, there does come a point in which their sustained survival. It's not about what's best for them. It's about you and your emotions. Because this cat, she developed like a fucking tumor on her nose. She would like fall asleep and then wake up with no idea where she was. And then one time she actually managed to slip out of an open window. And then the way she died was she like wandered out onto the highway, which was about like maybe a little under a quarter mile from the house.
Yeah.
From the apartment building. Wandered out there, apparently got smacked or brushed aside by a car, got picked up by somebody who brought her up to a vet in the next town up in Concord. Um, but even that vet, when like they found out she was like, there's no reason to try and save this animal. She's
Right. Yeah, yeah.
way too old. Lost all the hair on her, like lost all the fur in her tail. It was just a miserable thing. And I loved her so much. And when I heard she passed, I was actually relieved.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gets to that point, and you never know when a pet's gonna go either. Like, so, my parents had my mom always had this fucking thing for cocker spaniels. I fucking hate cocker spaniels. I absolutely hate cocker spaniels. But this dog was actually pretty chill. It was the first dog that I knew when I was born, and it was there for the first 6-7 years of my life. But the thing that was fucked up was about 2 months before the dog had to be put down, it got an infection in its eye so bad that the vet had to take the eye. And so the dog was, squinty like a pirate. But the dog, it's a dog, and dogs acclimate, and dogs seem to be doing fine. But then the infection came back, and the next thing you know, unfortunately, they're like, well, we're going to have to take the other eye. And my parents, for some reason, probably because my mom was in hysterics, my dad just wanted to try and placate her. She was like, no, we can't put the dog down. So they took the other eye. So there's this dog, and I'm really little. I don't know how to deal with this kind of shit. But there's this dog, and it's outside, and I'm trying to look through the glass sliding door at this dog that I've known all my life, and the damn dog has no eyes, and instead just has these like hollow cavities all stitched up and gunky where they used to be. It fucked me up.
Stop the ass kissing.
It fucked my world up bad.
I can imagine, yeah.
It was so fucking gross, man. And like I cried for like a week straight, like begging my parents, will you please just let this dog die? And finally my mom was like, okay, we'll put her down. I'm like, fuck, God, come on.
Thank you. You're supposed to be the ones full of humanity here.
I know. It was just, I don't know, man. It was just a horrifying situation. Fucking A. Let's see. Jabel says, we were talking on the pre-show about starting a campaign for Addie to get a rainbow tattoo on their taint so it can be the Rainbow Fun Bridge. Spread the word. Ooh, I will kick down for that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just a little rainbow tattoo is probably going to be...
Causes are great.
I mean... A little rainbow tattoo like that would probably be like $60,
Yeah, and it's totally comfortable, too. I mean, just throw back a couple knocks of fentanyl and go feel shit. Great.
I don't really think the taint would be that bad to get tattooed. I really don't think so. I mean, I haven't done it myself.
This is you speaking as a man who had a metal rod shoved through it. You're like, well,
yeah, didn't really hurt.
That's a relative thing. All right, yeah. Well, Addy Monster, you go ahead and you can let us know if you're here, how you feel about getting tattooed on the taint there, or don't. You can just not do that too.
Stop the ass kissing with you.
JSC Hong says, my girl was happy and healthy till death. She still caught mice and no hair loss or bumps. By the way, this is the last of my super chats of the month. I don't worry about it, man. It's all good. But yeah, it still caught mice all the way up until 20, huh? Wow. Owen Wilson, wow.
Yeah, also keep in mind, it's, fuck you, it's January, so.
It is January, wow.
Yeah, wow, it's January. Wow. I didn't know it came after December, wow.
All right. We got one more sad story, but it's not really a sad story. It's more of like a...
Well, this is a good one.
It's good. It's good. I'll read this one. Full Metal Jacket actor R. Lee Ermey laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. Now, thing is, he's been dead a while, actually. Yeah. He has. He died, what was it? Back
in April?
In April. But... we'll read the whole thing. R. Lee Ermey, a former Marine Corps drill instructor, best known for his role in Stanley Kubrick's film Full Metal Jacket. Actually, no, I would say whatever movie it was where he and Jack Black got married and made out on stage, that was probably his best role. What? Was buried at Arlington. Do you remember which one that was?
No.
You don't remember which one that was? Which chat? Here's your mission for the night. Figure out what movie that was, where Jack Black has to come to terms with. Oh, wait, it was fuck, the one where they had to. This dude had a really shitty girlfriend, and so they kidnapped her and held her away so that their friend could like hook up with his old flame or some shit like that. Saving Silverman. Yeah, Saving Silverman.
Oh.
Yeah, Arlie Ermey is in that, and he and Jack Black at the end of the movie are like, they hook up. It's pretty great.
Fucking goddamn Arlie Ermey. You get even cooler after death to so many people because they're like, wow, I didn't know he would go that far to make a funny film scene.
Well, he was buried at Arlington National Cemetery Friday with full military honors, the U.S. Naval Institute said. He died on April 15th, 2018 due to complications from pneumonia. He was 74. Before playing his famous role as a sadistic gunnery Sergeant Hartman in the 1987 film, Ermey enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1961. The Kansas native served for 11 years, including 14 months in Vietnam, before he was medically discharged in 1972 due to injuries. Ermey had small roles in Apocalypse Now and The Boys in Company C before he got his big break in Full Metal Jacket. Ermey was originally supposed to be a technical advisor, but Kubrick offered him the role after seeing a demo tape of the actor railing at extras while tennis balls flew at him. That's kind of weird.
Well, no, I mean, he's under fire, so he knows how to yell at people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's been 14 months in Vietnam. The guy knows how to yell at motherfuckers while people are shooting shit at him.
Right. Full Metal Jacket earned Ermey a Golden Globe nomination as well as a career playing authority figures from Mayor Tillman in 1988's Mississippi Burning to Little Green Army Man Sarge in More Family. I swear to fucking God. Really?
Just turn it off.
It's fucking the wife. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm turning it off. Jesus Christ.
I'll say this much though. I mean,
Fucking hell.
You look over his filmography and you can find a number of roles, and this is what I really found surprising as an actor. Well, not surprising, but like impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Is he got typecast as drill sergeant, angry cop, angry mayor, barking down your fucking throat. But he also and I can't even off the top of my head remember any of them, but I've seen him in enough of them where he plays just a dude, right? Like when he's just got to play an everyman, and he's not yelling and shouting, and he's just talking sense, and he's a slightly older guy with some wisdom that he needs to impart and shit.
Right.
And he fucking he genuinely killed those roles, and you'd see Arlie Ermey and you'd expect him to start barking and what the fuck is going on, all that, and no, and it just be this honest, genuine scene, and I'm like, wow, you know what, that dude was as much an actor as he was a Marine. And I say that knowing that there's never any taking that Marine Corps out of that motherfucker.
No, absolutely not. Hang on a second, let me get back to it. Ermey appeared in a number of television shows and films and also hosted the History Channel series Mail Call and Lock and Load with Arlie Ermey. He's an outspoken supporter of the military. I was in during the Vietnam era, so we weren't widely respected at all, Ermey told the U.S. Naval Institute in 2015. Matter of fact, that was the era when you came back from war, they spit on you. That was a hippie generation, though. There's still some problems, still some situations. There's still some people in the world who just refuse to support our beloved military. But yeah, so he died back in April, but I guess they finally got a chance to bury him?
Well, I believe he was cremated. And
okay. But they had their funeral.
Yeah, I think he got a proper military funeral.
Gotcha.
In Arlington. And to be honest, with the exception of Audie Murphy, I'd say, I can't think of another 20th century veteran who was as widely known and revered. And I'm glad the Gunny got a better go of things than Murphy did, because Murphy was a hero.
Yeah.
Murphy was a hero. Murphy was a movie star playing himself in a film, but that man died badly. His life was a fucking nightmare. Ermey came back and somehow was able to compartmentalize and become kind of a fucking folk hero. The guy could do literally anything, and everyone would be happy to see him.
Do you have the My Circle open?
I do.
Okay. Do, 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 do.
What about you? When are you gonna get hitched?
Actually, I'm
Stop
not.
the
I'm
ass
gay.
kissing with you.
Me too.
Really?
By the power of that.
And then let's see. I think they yeah, they kiss, and then you got there you go.
You may kiss the man.
Woo!
I love how. What is? Oh my god! In that scene, though, you could even see it is funny because in that scene, Jack Black was more hesitant
Oh
than
yeah.
Gunny.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Gunny's
yeah.
just like, "We doing this? Because
Yeah.
I'm the fucking world champion of gay chicken. I'll have you know."
Yeah, dude. He's just like, oh, I got you. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, Jack had to look at him and be like, "Is this actually happening?" Gunny's like, "Come here, baby."
Well, R.I.P. and pepperonis, Gunny. Let's see. Rimsh says, "Oorah,
Hoorah.
pinkies up for the Gunny. Pinkies. Drag of the West says, I learned a lot from the Gunny in terms of history of firearms and the military. Pinkies up for the Gunny. Indeed.
I'll say this much before I shipped off to fucking basic and Benning there. Watching Mail Call was like one of my favorite go-to things.
I never actually watched it.
It was a really good show. This was just before History Channel turned into abject dog shit, right? And so they're like, it was all military history, and that's still interesting history. And so it was like Mail Call, and then they had a whole show about like a bunch of Marines going through basic. No, it was Marines or Army. Yeah.
He's got a hand on his ass too. Actually, no.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. He's a true actor too. That's the thing, and that's the thing. I bet you actually his acting fucking cred really did come from his Marine Corps background. Because if there's one thing you can say about a Marine, it's that they know you either go all in or you don't go at all.
Yeah.
And so grab up on that Jabel's ass there.
Good shit, man. Good shit. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's crazy. God. No, I'm good.
What?
I was gonna spoil more of Twisted Pair, but I think I'm gonna save it.
Does Jack Black show up and grab Neil Breen's ass?
No, but Kale is a drug addict, and Kale and his drug addict girlfriend arguing is one of the funniest things in the world when they start like literally throwing money and drugs at each other saying, "Fuck you, we're fucked up, fuck you, I'm done with you, fuck." It's the funniest damn thing. It's great. It's just great.
It sounds special.
And there's a hawk. Okay, you remember when we watched Pass Through and they had the CGI tiger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was magic.
It was magical, but you see, Neil has learned his lesson on how bad that looked. So instead, now there's a hawk, a beautiful slow motion of a hawk, and rather than CG a hawk, he just CG'd himself in there, like tenderly cuddling up with the hawk. It's great. It's so good.
Oh yeah, no, that's in the. I mean that sequence is in the.
Is it in the trailer?
Yeah, it's in the trailer when he comes up and he's just like. It's like it, yeah. It's just like this, like massive hawk sitting on a branch. I want to watch the fucking
trailer again. God damn it!
I mean, can we get away with watching that? Because I mean, the entire show yesterday, we got copy striked by 2 different music companies.
Did you? Why? What'd you play?
Well, no. I mean, I was just going with the whole, classic Larry Kubiak coming in and showing me some good ass Japanese metal, followed by. Another one, which was like a band, Man with a Plan.
I'm just gonna keep this muted. That way.
Played some Man with a Plan, and then, and then we played some Clowncore. Clowncore.
Yeah, Miles
was really impressive. That was Miles doing, but yeah.
I don't really mind Clowncore. I think Clowncore is interesting. I mean, obviously, it's easy to make fun of juggalos and shit. But honestly, you know what's funny? as much as juggalos get a lot of shit, most of the ones that I've met are really, really nice. They're annoying, but they're really nice.
No, I mean,
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
that's the good. I mean, that's the nice thing. The good thing about like the Juggalo fandom, as it was,
Mm-hmm.
is that they understand that they are a point of derision and scorn. They understand that, and most of them are people who've been that their whole lives anyway. It is genuinely one of those sort of fandoms where people who've just been told like, "You're a fucking faggot" your whole life.
Right.
They drift there, and then like everybody there is like, dude, nobody gives a fuck. Like, be your weirdest fucking self. We love it.
The ass
Mm-hmm.
And even like,
You.
and I've like, I used to work with juggalos in kitchens back in the day, and there was like even a couple albums with a couple songs, and I'm like, this isn't bad. This is pretty decent. And then you find out too, what is it? Violent J and Shaggy Two Dope, is it?
I think it's Shaggy 2 Dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you find out like what the two of those guys have actually done with their fame and fortune. You never see them flossing. You never see them trying to impregnate Kardashians. You never see them
Right.
trying to jump on a new trend. They just keep doing what they're doing, and with all their millions, apparently they've just like they bought homes for like their moms and other people that they know,
Yep.
or like poor folk, or anytime they like somebody comes across their path with nothing, they just like give them a life.
And now
Like, I
Violent
got-
J wears fucking fursuits to furry conventions.
Yeah, well, not just and you know what he's not even a furry himself. He's doing that because that's his daughter's thing. And you
Yeah.
know what? I will be the first fucking person to step forward and say like, if you're willing to jump into something like cringy and a bit retarded, because your daughter, your kid's into it, and then you're gonna like come out and publicly make like a media campaign
Mm-hmm.
to fucking shame people who try to rip people like that off. No, I'm not. I ain't gonna throw shade at you, bro. You got my utmost respect. Because honestly, if my daughter, I don't give a fuck what my kid gets into, right? As long as it doesn't hurt her. If she has fun with it and feels good about it, like I got her back 100%. And the fact that like they show that like as musicians, we've got a whole fucking like what do we got right now? We got a whole bunch of people like they were fucking salivating, wishing they could taste the tip of Kanye's dick just because he was wearing Trump hats and shit, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as cringy as that shit is, that like fucking like Violent Shaggy, whichever fucking one of them. Yeah, you come out as a furry just to support your own kid. Yeah, guess what? Like you got my respect, and I ain't gonna call that shit cringy no matter what some boomer edgelord tries to say.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well spoke.
Although I will say that whole snakes shit was kind of. I mean, you saw the video,
Which one?
the one where he and his daughter are calling out the fursuit maker.
Snake.
It's like, dude, don't do that too much. You might burst a blood vessel. Come on.
Yeah. Snake. What do they call them? The snake busters or some shit like that.
Snake busters.
Snake busters.
Snake
Yeah.
busted.
It's so cute. It's so sweet.
What is, and that's the thing too. I mean, and it's nice too because it is also nice to see like somebody who, so like you achieved fame and fortune, and you had to climb through a whole bunch of shit because there's like at least 60% of the population who have observed your shit saying, "This is fucking retarded, bro."
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But you still keep doing what you're doing. You do what you do for your fans because they fucking love it. And then when you're too old to really keep doing it, you're like, hey, I got kids now and they're into shit, and I'm going to support them in their shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking solid. I like it.
So let's see. The Engaged Few says, "Did you see that Hermes audition tape for the role in Full Metal Jacket? I haven't seen it myself. Supposedly he just ad-libbed the entire thing, and if he did, that was goddamn impressive. He went on a full-throttle profanity-laced tirade that would have made Chuck Norris shit. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's a Marine Corps fucking DI.
Yeah. Dragon of the West says, I'm wondering when Neil Breen will figure out that desktop computers exist. He discovers it in this one. He sits down next to a computer, and I screamed out really loudly. I'm like, watch your fucking coffee, Neil! And like, But he didn't break anything. He touches the monitor like he wants to do something awful to it, like really shitty. And then he just, yeah. That's all good.
It's like instead of like Dish Network satellites hooked up to an old Mercedes, he's just got a bunch of Alexas sitting around inside of a new Civic.
Oh yeah. Man. All right. So what's next? What's next?
Oh, Australia. Well, here's the thing. So yeah,
Oh, this
in case,
fake fucking place. Come on.
now in case none of you have actually picked up on it, so Bering's girlfriend released some scandalous new photos, and it's resulted in a heat wave, which has caused apparently it's causing fruit to cook from the inside.
Well, Sugar Tits is a very, very pretty woman.
She really is, yes.
Really is.
An extreme heat wave already breaking records across Australia is expected to peak in many parts of the country.
Okay.
Friday, with temperatures to stay above 40 degrees Celsius, or in real terms, 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
104 in Australia.
That's not that bad. 104? What are they fucking complaining about?
Dry Australian 104 degree. Yeah. For the 6th day in a row.
So fucking what, dude? Arizona gets way worse than that for months. Months. What the...
Well, the 6 days from January 12th to 17th are all within Australia's 10 hottest days on record, according to the Australian Bureau of Meteorology said. Marble Bar in northwestern Australia hit the highest temperature during the heat wave at a sweltering 120 degrees. That's hot. On Sunday, a January record for the area. The town has seen more than 20 consecutive days above temperatures above 104. And it's just not the highs that are making people sweat. Noona in a western New South Wales broke an all-time minimum temperature record Thursday night, with heat levels remaining at 96 throughout the night. For fuck's sake. Now, while inland areas like New South Wales and Queensland are expected to see the mercury rise once again on Friday, cooler temperatures are expected to bring relief to parts of southern Australia.
I come back and you're doing the accent. God damn it.
No, I heard you coming back, so I did the accent badly.
Oh, okay.
But no, I mean, so they were even saying, yeah, like, what is it, Port Augusta, 118.
118?
Yeah.
Okay, you can complain about that. 118 is worth complaining about.
120 in New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
115 in Griffith.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. High ozone levels. On Wednesday, New South Wales experienced health authorities warned that the high temperatures were expected to continue to high ozone air pollution across Sydney. Dr. Richard Broom, Director of Environmental Health in New South Wales, said that people with asthma and other respiratory problems are particularly vulnerable as ozone can irritate the lungs.
Dr. Broom,
Dr. Broom. I love this. Is what we get in Australia, man. Listen, the entire thing is nothing more than a Yahoo Serious movie, right? So,
good reference. What the fuck?
yeah. Oh, it's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like we wouldn't have Agent Smith or Elrond were it not for those films.
True. That's actually very true.
And if any of you are curious, actually, go and find Yahoo Serious films. You will find Hugo Weaving is the villain, and I believe all of them.
Every Yahoo Serious movie?
I know he's a villain in at least one or two of them.
Yeah, shit. Now I want to look that up, actually. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, now here's the weird thing. Fish and bat deaths and fruit cooking from the inside. The high temperatures have taken an increasing toll on the country's flora and fauna. In the Murray-Darling River Basin across the southeast, more than 1 million dead fish have washed up on the banks, so they're dying in the water. Niall Blair, whatever, Primary Industries Minister in New South Wales said more deaths of marine life are expected in the coming days as temperatures continue to rise, according to local media. But environmental activists have blamed mass deaths on poor management of the river system by state and federal governments, alleging mass corruption of water by farmers was leaving too little for fish to survive.
Well, he wasn't in.
Oh my God, scroll down. That's a fucked up picture right there.
Hang on, fuck. Here. Where?
Go, keep going. There you go.
That one?
River full of dead fish.
Oh my God. Ew.
Yeah. Colonies of bats were also succumbing to the heat and dropping from the trees in Adelaide, according to CNN affiliate 9 News, prompting warnings to avoid contact with the animals as they can carry deadly diseases. Heat can be disastrous to bat species after a heat wave in North Queensland in November. An estimated 23,000 speckled flying foxes died. I like the sound of those things too. Why can't we keep those alive?
Speckled foxes. That does sound
Speckled
pretty rad.
flying foxes.
Speckled flying foxes. What the fuck
Yeah.
is a speckled flying fox?
Well,
By
here's
the way,
where it gets-
it was only in Reckless Kelly that that Hugo Weaving was.
That was the
killed.
one, yeah. But yeah, in South Australia, the extreme heat is causing stone fruit, including peaches and nectarines, to cook from the inside out. So basically, Southern Australia has become a microwave.
Oh, a speckled flying fox is just a fucking bat.
Yeah, it said bats, but still, it's a
I
great
wasn't
name.
really listening to what you were saying. I just heard speckled flying fox, and I was.
Yeah, I know
like,
you were masturbating, you amosexual. David Hogg, what would David Hogg say?
About what?
You got an assault carbine there. All the same.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, the stone burns them. So basically, the way these fruit cook is like if they've got a pit inside of them, the pit heats up and then cooks the fruit from the inside out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The stone burns, which means they burn on the inside. They become super squashy and you can't use them. Dried Tree Fruits Australia chairman Chris Weiner told ABC. Not the regular ABC, the fake one.
Right.
It comes as the Australian Open kicked off in Melbourne at the Rod Lava Arena in temperatures which topped 86 degrees. It is the second year in a row in which extreme temperatures hit the Grand Slam event, with some competitors collapsing or complaining of heat stroke in the 2018 event. Quit complaining, just get to collapsing, then people know you're serious. Climate change is taking its toll. Now it's saying, yeah, the Bureau of Meteorology says that revealed 2018 was the country's third hottest year, with rainfall 11% below average. But listen, guys, listen. We need to we need to listen to our red-pilled brethren when we're talking about climate change here. So first off, there is no climate change. But if there is climate change, it's natural. But if it's not natural and we're causing it, there's not a whole lot we can do. But if there are things that we can do, think about the stock market. And then after that, think about the stock market. And after that, go out and own the libs. Because, honestly, I for one welcome acid rain and extreme temperatures and crop shortages. If it owns the libs, because listen, we're in a war of ideas here, guys. We're in a proper fucking war here, and if we can't win this war, it doesn't matter how much bountiful food or oxygen there is on the planet Earth. If it's all libs eating and breathing it, there's no point in it. So good job, Brazil. We're all very proud.
Good job.
Yeah. But Australia's winter last year saw the worst drought in living memory. But, this is all CNN, so, take it with a grain of sand.
Sounds like a bunch of libtard bullshit.
Yeah, take this shit with a grain of sand, because pretty soon that's all you're gonna fucking have soon. And if you want grains of salt, you can just go to the oceans, which are gonna be just go down to Kentucky Bay. It'll all be great there.
Right. Yeah, man, it's crazy shit. Okay, one of the reasons why I'm really happy I'm not on Twitter anymore is far too many of my friends, who I love and I care about quite a bit, are completely fucking idiotic when it comes to climate change, and I'm just really tired of having to bite my tongue and not correct them when they start talking about it. I'm like, no.
Listen, though, Jeff, there's no scientific consensus about the thing. Listen, a whole bunch of scientists whose degrees and backgrounds we know nothing about were paid by the petroleum and automotive industries to come before us and tell us that everything's fine. And all these climatologists, they're all just listen, I caught last time I was in DC, I saw 40 fucking climatologists piling into Al Gore's bondage basement just so they could have a party where they fucking planned out how they're gonna profit from
Fuck.
convincing the rest of us that like all of this shit we've been doing is bad because all those green tech companies, yeah, it's a big conspiracy. Now listen, the oil industry, they never do anything to fuck us over. They are the most above board industry on earth.
Oh, they got
And
a
you can
great
tell-
track record. Great track record.
They got a great track record. And listen, I mean honestly, I don't get why you hate America so much, Jeff. So can we just honestly, I swear to Christ, if I see one more of these things, I'm gonna don't make me cite InfoWars, okay? Because like you can't trust the mainstream media anymore.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's absolutely
and
right.
that's why I go with ex-doxers and conspiratards to promote my classical liberalism.
I mean, okay, yeah. No, it's just frustrating. It's kind of like one of those, how when you go sometimes to say Thanksgiving dinner and you got some family members and they have just really bad shitty opinions on things. It's
don't
really
have
hard.
family members. So,
Well, I'm talking to the audience.
okay, sorry, I thought you were asking me.
No. But yeah, it's kind of like that, but on Twitter when it comes to climate change, it's every fucking day. And it irritates me too because they're like, well, actually, Jeff, the thing is, and they start wanting to talk to me about it. And I'm like,
I love how you put
What?
your Ben Shapiro voice on for that too.
oh, yeah. But I'm like, are you not aware of what kind of videos that I make? Like, we've been friends for a while. I'm pretty sure you should by now know exactly what types of videos I make and kind of the standards by which I operate. You really think you're going to argue this with me? Really? You really think... Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Nah, it sucks. It's annoying. It's annoying as fuck.
Well, that's the nature of things, though. I mean, I honestly wish that I could
Everything
have
is
come up.
annoying as fuck. Yeah, I agree.
No, yeah, I really do wish though, like 5 years ago, that I could have come up with like an easily pliable political grift, like the way that all the winners do now, to where you don't need principles, convictions, ideas. You don't need to really necessarily stand for anything. You just need to stand against something, and then you can get all of your followers to fall for anything. It'd be great.
Jable says, I was tired of the climate change debate and had troubles with interpreting all the science, so I did the right thing. I contacted a fucking expert and asked some questions so that I could understand. That's what you do. That's what a responsible person does. Oh, hello.
I was actually really tempted especially when like the race realism shit was kicking up last year, and all that other unfortunate shit that allowed like the hapless illiterate dipshits to trot it out as though it was legitimate science.
Yeah.
I was like, I really need to like reach out to like UNH or Southern New Hampshire or even fucking Harvard because it's close enough, and just find some actual geneticists and be like, hey, listen. There's this really creepy bald guy who I think might be a sex offender, but I can't prove it, but I wouldn't get into his van is all I'm saying, who keeps going off about this shit on Twitter. What do you think about these theories? And I just never did that because I don't know. I couldn't give enough of a fuck.
Yeah. I don't know,
should've
man.
given more fucks.
It bothers me because, you know that meme that's been going around? They're like, it's about anti-vaxxers. They're like, well, on the question of whether vaccines cause autism, I have here 10,000 papers and peer-reviewed studies that say that no, and vaccines are in fact safe. And then I've got this one that says that they aren't. I fucking knew it! That's how it's like when you fucking argue with climate change deniers. Like, and it's so irritating. They're like, but what about this one thing? And I'm like, what the fuck about it? What?
You know,
what? The one? One.
You know what that is though, right? I'm like, this is actually going to be the next video because I hope nobody, if you guys haven't caught it, I put out a good news video today going over good news, good things happening in the world. We're mostly fucked. Yeah, we're pretty much fucked. But that doesn't mean that everything is fucked. But the next video I'm going to be putting out is actually going to be about taboo. And one of the things I've noticed is, especially in this like internet age, you can dump overwhelming evidence. You can dump overwhelming scientific, peer-reviewed, bona fide fact on people. And then when they find like one dipshit internet edgelord to tell them they are lying to you, right? They will buy it hook, line, and sinker and then turn around and say that they're not going to fall for dumb shit because this one dumb shit showed them the truth.
Right.
This is why we have preventable diseases coming back in populations,
Right.
even in Western populations, because people are like, well, I read on the internet that vaccines cause autism and the gay, and then they're just like, I don't want gay autist babies, so I'm just gonna let them get smallpox. It's fine.
It
Measles,
builds character.
yeah, measles. Their immune system will build up to it. I read that in my Facebook group, and the problem is because everybody. I remember the days in which we used to like, as activists, we used to lament the fact that people seemed apathetic to things, right?
Mm-hmm.
These days, everybody is super fucking charged with whatever dumb shit idea that feels good at the moment, and then they're gonna carry that battle flag out across the field, no matter how fucking wrong it can be, and no matter how bad it turns out to be, and they're gonna do it on principle. And then when they get a bunch of people trying to tell them that they're wrong, that's just further evidence that they're so right.
True. Pushback is validation for a lot of it. That's one of the problems when it comes to the climate change debate. One of the people who sabotage the efforts to like really communicate it properly, it's not all just like right-wing politicians. It's the left too. They're really fucking terrible at communicating it in a way that's not completely shitty and makes people not want to listen to them. They're really bad about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, these days, what are they doing? They're trying to convince people like, we need to tackle climate change because it's part of patriarchy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
What
great.
are you doing?
That's really good. That's gonna get people on your side. Yeah, just annoy the fuck out of them and expect them to like behave. Fucking shut up.
And I guess at the same time, like, we really can't be surprised, though, when fucking charlatans show up. Like, I am so opposed to the left identity politics that are going on that I just want to tell you, as a black conservative woman who's been a black conservative woman literally since I was outed as a doxer a couple of years ago.
Who could you mean?
I mean, quite honestly, like, I am really, like, I mean, I never prayed to shit before, but I'm about ready to pray to fucking smod just so that we can wipe this shit out. And, like, maybe someday someone will discover James Wood's tweets backed up on a hard drive somewhere and being like, oh, this is how everything went wrong.
Man, I wish somebody who was such a good actor wasn't so fucking irritating. The Engaged Fuse says, let's assume that race realism is 100% true and accurate. My response is the same as Thomas Jefferson's to the exact same question. Regardless of the degree of understanding allotted to them by nature, it's no measure of their rights. Indeed, and that should be enough for a lot of people, but it's not. And one of the things that probably drives me the most crazy is I really wanted to get into that topic, but I swear to Christ, if anybody ever mentions that they want to make videos on it, I warn them not to. Because, my God, it's not worth the fucking headache that you will get trying to talk with people about it. It is a fucking nightmare. It ain't worth it. Fuck it.
Well, it's the same kind of thing when you try and like wake people up to the fact that, like, I mean, it was funny. It was a funny thing I noticed today, right? One of the central criticisms I get about my centrism, as it's been labeled, and as I've said, fuck it, why not? I'll call it that. Is that, everyone's always like, oh, well, you're just complaining about shit, not standing for anything. And then I look at what these people's politics is rooted in, and it's fucking Sargonism. It's not an actual ethos. It's a notion of, like, I hate these other people so much that I'm willing to put up with anything if it triggers them. Like, I'm going to call myself a classical liberal while I side up next to people who might as well be Bush appointees if they were just fucking smart enough to get there.
Look at this shit.
And
look at this. Mem's got how much was it? Like a $500 coat for $150?
Yeah.
Look at that fucking thing.
It's
fucking capitalist.
Almost to my ankles.
First up against the wall.
Wool.
Nick says, you fucking capitalist, you're first up against the wall.
Well, I wanted to be girly, and I didn't
think
about the fact it's a holiday weekend.
You'll look really good. You'll look really good. You'll look really good. You look really good up against the wall, Mems.
Yeah, she says you'll look really good up against the wall.
Yes, I will.
Yes, you will.
Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I got sexy panties, too.
Awesome. Give me my gun. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, go look in the bedroom. Your present came in. Anyway, sorry. Back to the show.
Oh Christ, you really shouldn't. You need to say that. But yeah, no, I mean this is where we're at. Like we have anti-vaxxers, we have flat earthers, we have people like buying Dave Rubin's lines of shit and Candace Owens' lines of shit, Sargon's lines of shit. You know why?
Hmm.
Because in the same way that centrists don't stand for anything, the criticism is coming from people whose politics is largely rooted in the fact that I hate SJWs. And
It's cringy and
and
annoying and
yeah,
played
I know,
out.
and I
played out.
really I mean I'm really sad that what was it Onamura, that big cigar shaped, dick shaped, pancake shaped, alien
I
ship
love you
thing.
so much.
Why couldn't that come a little closer to Earth? Why not? Why not?
That would be nice. Yeah. Let's just end it. Bring Orn the nukes. Bring Orn the fucking nukes at this point. Hubris Bliss says Mem's jacket
You're only
is killer.
saying that because you really want to mount a homemade scope to the top of that
Yeah,
rifle.
Yeah. I have a scope I could put on it too. I don't know. Anyway, Hubris Bliss said Mem's jacket is killing Australian bats. It's too true. It's too true. All right. Let's move on to this one's kind of cute. This is kind of a cute article. Did you just read the last one? Yeah, you did. I'll read this one.
Yep. I figured you'd like this one.
I do. San Diego bar with 2,800 whiskey seeks the Guinness record. That's a lot of fucking whiskey. I know where I'm going next time I go down to San Diego. San Diego bar is having its 2,800 varieties of whiskey counted by Guinness World Records in the hopes of being recognized by the organization. The Whiskey House, a clever name, located in the Gaslamp district, said Guinness adjudicators are counting its collection of more than 2,800 whiskeys to capture the record for the largest commercial inventory of whiskey in the world. The bar said last November that it had added another 300 bottles to its already 2,500 strong collection, bringing its menu to a total of 61 pages. Current record is held by the Hotel Skansen in Farjestaden, Sweden, which boasts a whiskey collection of 1,179 bottles.
That's
That
right,
looks
Felix.
fucking
Did you hear that, Felix? Yeah, Sweden has just been defeated.
great. Nailed it.
California, the
Nailed it.
People's Republic of California, no less. Although, as far as like Southern Californian cities, the more I've looked into it, San Diego really does look like a lot of fun.
Me and Memory went down there for a work trip for her, and we didn't get to go to the gas lamp. Everybody was saying we should go to the gas lamp district, but we didn't get a chance to because we did like the whole stuff with her job, and then she looked at me and she's like, well, what do you want to do? We're in San Diego. And without missing a beat, I'm like, we're going to the aircraft carrier. Fuck it. Like, that's what I want. That's where we're going. And so we spent the whole fucking day just like in discovering and like crawling around inside this aircraft carrier. It was fucking awesome. The USS Midway is great.
Here's the thing though, do you think they've got like a punch card? Or at least maybe like a stack of them that you can get, and then like when you've tried all the whiskeys, you get a free funeral?
That's good. That was clever.
That's all right.
I have a bad experience with whiskey themed bars though. There's a neighborhood in Eugene called the Whitaker District. It's was kind of the ghetto, and then it started getting really gentrified. It's still pretty ghetto, but that's where like all of the artisanal, so interesting and urban dining is at. And all the yuppies come down on Friday and Saturday night to eat.
Culturally appropriating from Indian culture by doing
Right. And so whatever that means. So this one whiskey bar opened up. It's a Japanese restaurant / whiskey bar, and when they opened up, one of the dudes who opened it was like he was a homie, like he was part of the hood. He lived there. We all knew him, so we all went there every fucking night to make sure his business would do good. We spent so much fucking money on beer and whiskey and all sorts of shit. We supported the fuck out of that place before the Uppies found it. As soon as the Uppies find it, within a month, they stopped seating us. They wouldn't let us come in. They were like, you can order a drink and stand at the bar, but those tables are reserved. We're like, there's no reserved tables at this place. Well, they're reserved tonight. And like, they wouldn't let us fucking hang out there anymore. It's annoying. It's awful. So ever since then, I'm like,
It's a weird thing, though. I mean, so... Oh, what? You want to say hello?
Yeah, and also I have to ask you a question.
What's the question?
Can I use your phone because I don't have a lot on my phone for the music?
Oh, you mean what's on the table there?
Okay.
No, come here. Hang on. You want to say goodnight and hello?
Hello and good night,
Stop the
plebs.
ass kissing.
What's up, Quinn?
You.
There we go. There you go.
Hello.
Hello and good night, plebs.
Out of here.
Yeah. Plebs.
Yeah. Oh well, everyone is a pleb, and she's a plebby potato queen. Hey, y'all brushed?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. You can plug that phone in, put your music on, but low enough so I don't hear it.
Okay.
Okay. It's a weird thing. I've definitely noticed.
She's such a great kid.
Oh, she's like barely a kid anymore too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, Jesus. I mentioned tonight on Twitter, and it was a good tweet. But I in the same way that like I lament and will always forever miss, going to the playground or boxes of toys getting her excited, or like coloring or cartoons and shit like that. And as she
Sure.
gets older and turns into a person, I'm routinely like reminded, you know what, that's all right, because she's gonna be a better adult than I could ever hope to be.
Okay.
And, yeah, and so she comes out and she's like, I even told her, I'm like, what? She's like, oh, you're doing the show? Can I say hi? I'm like, you can say hi. And then it was just like, all right, I'm just gonna say hi before bed, and can I please listen to music once I go to sleep? Like,
Aww.
yeah, listen, I mean, like, we're in Manchester, you're not on fentanyl yet, so we're fine. Go ahead and do what you want.
All right.
Oh yeah, and one Canuck to Silver Sun pickups. Yes, I think if you've got kids yourself out there, when your kid hits like 10, 11, 12, that tween age when they're starting to get angsty and shit.
Yeah.
You show them Silver Sun pickups, Lazy Eye, the video and the song, and they will stand there and they'll be transfixed and they'll be like, wait, wow, this strangely speaks to me. And it's like, yes, there were scientists behind the crafting of the song, making sure that would happen.
Oh, gosh. All right, so Jabel says, a lot of college professors have their office hours and emails available to the public, and a lot of them will talk with you, or at least set up a time to talk and explain aspects you don't understand. Agreed. Like, if for some reason there's a scientific concept that you feel you're not getting the best answer to, and politics is probably not the best place to get your basic science understanding.
Oh, careful with those political scientists.
Well, I'm not saying political science. I'm saying like real scientists. Like you can go to college and they'll talk to you. They'll fucking talk to you if they got time.
Yeah. If you want to find out what's going on with the climate, don't talk to a congressman. Don't talk to an advocate or activist. Dude, find a fucking climatologist. And because nobody wants to talk to them. They're nerdy, boring people.
Yeah. So Anime Moon says, well, from the sounds of it, we need more crazy shit. So here you go, more crazy shit. I did queue it up, and we'll take a look. But, I mean, for a buck roll, only going to, like, briefly click through it. Frankly, my dear, with Tim Bone says, in Knoxville with Poison the Well, wish y'all were here. You could not pay me enough to go there. No thanks. But I wish I was hanging out with you guys. It would be great. Hope to see y'all soon. By the way,
Honestly,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, here's hoping, like, all goes well in Knoxville. Maybe a twink or two will, like, maybe trip on a banana peel and crack their jaw and stutter more. I don't know. But all the same, I hope you guys are having fun. That fucking Waffle House Jerry Springer bullshit. Nobody with a brain in their head really thought it was going to happen. And, yeah, I mean, so, like, like Coke Fiend versus Crippled Twink, who the fuck gives a fuck, right?
I have no opinion on it at all. He says, by the way, Jeff, get memes her Spyro/Crash game. Love y'all. I believe that is probably in my
Jeff,
my P.O. box.
Real quick, give Beardy. Why does Beardy not have a wrench?
Why does Beardy not have a wrench? That's a good question. I don't know.
No.
By the way, we need to play some more fucking Conan with Beardy.
Yeah, I gotta get back in that shit too. I don't know why. Well, apparently between the three of us, I get the biggest Twitch following when I do it.
Yeah, you probably do. I don't do Twitch at night, though, even though there's more people watching than when I do it in the morning.
That works out fine, because I get to decorate your houses.
I mean, I lie, Sester, whatever. So, like, let's take a look at this, like, the anime moon sent. Let's see what this is. Because, yeah.
What's this? Oh, shit. Oh, God. Welcome to our copyright plan.
Okay, let's just kind of click through. Fuck. I mean, it's pretty weird.
It's very, very different.
Oh yeah, Beardy will be able to play Conan again after moving February 1st. They got the house. Very, very happy for you,
Oh yeah.
bro.
By the
That's
way,
amazing.
can we get a fleet of pinkies up?
Pinkies out for the
Beard
Beardy.
Baron
Yep.
and his improved living situation as one who's dealt with it himself in a way. Improved living situations are wonderful.
Yeah, that is cause for celebration. So, hey, cheers to you, brother. All right.
Even if he still has to be Canadian.
Yep. I mean, there is that, but you know.
Come on down to America, or we can kill each other with impunity.
Okay, so here's two travel destinations that I really need to do. I need to get up to the Vancouver, BC area. One to hang out with Beardy, and also to hang out with Adam from Your Movie Sucks. He told me in no uncertain terms after Vegas, he's like, "Yeah, it's been great, but I've traveled twice now to America to hang out with you guys. So yeah, you're gonna have to come up to Canada." I'm like, "All right, fine."
All right. Well, when is he gonna come on the show like he said he would?
I'll ask him again. I'm sure he will. I just haven't asked him in fucking forever.
These looks are for him and Derek.
Oh yeah. I'm sure Derek will
and
too.
Joe.
And Joe. Yeah, I need to get a hold of Joe. We should get Joe on the show just to fuck around. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then you and I need to go down to the south. We really do. We really, really do.
Listen, I'm not like the rest of you where I can just travel, so...
No, I know, but I mean, if we plan on it, maybe we like try and figure out a way to make it happen. I think that would be really cool.
Why don't we just actually, like, really, really, really push my bus campaign so I can get that shit built in, like, under a year, and then we can just do that.
Okay. That sounds good, too. We'll do that.
And if you don't know what I mean by my bus campaign, then you clearly don't pay attention to my shit. But also that's fine because it'll make the launch of the whole thing even more exciting.
Amelia Fart as a guest. That would be fucking great! Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah, I still need to come to New Hampshire too at some point. Not during the winter or the spring.
No, or at all. No, there's no reason. No.
Eric Tolman says, "Hey guys, this is my first stream of yours. My brother Mouth is next to me. He's worse in face to face. By the way, Nick, it looks like urine in that jar." I would imagine Mouth is a wonderful, wonderful person to be hanging out next to. I love him.
And I'm not saying this is urine in a jar. I'm also not saying that it's not. I'm not saying I hate myself though.
Hey, put it on top of your head. Put it on top of your head.
For a chargers that actually fit me because mine actually sucks.
Pew!
What am I doing?
That's what guns sound like. Pew!
It's the same charger your tablet runs on.
Mine sucks.
All right, Jeff, do you mind handling this all for a moment? I need to sort Quinn out.
It's all good.
Because she's... Oh, thank you so much.
Duke can shred on the guitar. I'll give him that much. I'm just gonna let this kind of play in the background because we won't get hit for the visual part if it's just like doing that sort of thing. The only thing that I really, really dislike about...
You can stop now.
What the fuck are they doing?
No, use mid end.
Fine, it's only funny for a bit. Hang on. Oh, come on.
The hell? Anyway, what the hell was I even gonna say? Oh, bring Mouth, bring Eric to Discord. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. On Wednesdays, Mouth, you should bring Eric onto Discord. I'll pull him in, and he can tell us all a bunch of embarrassing stories about you. But yeah, the one thing I really dislike about streaming on YouTube as opposed to, say, Twitch is the lag between chat. Way longer. Like in Twitch, it's like 10 seconds you can have a conversation with the chat. Otherwise, I just say a bunch of shit and then like, you know, Jeff, get a proper lever gun. Pistol caliber is the only way. That it depends on what you want. I wanted myself a lever gat that I could actually hunt deer with. Technically, yes, you could do that with a 44, but the ballistics don't equate to it having as long of a range. I wanted something that I could like, bink, ring some fucking steel at like 300 yards if I wanted to. This is a good gun for that. Plus, I got lots of close quarter weapons already. I have a lot of guns, actually. A lot of guns. But yeah. That actually kind of surprises people at times when they get to know me. If they don't know me from like the internet or anything, they're just kind of getting to know me. They're like, "You seem like such a nice, like a hippie dude. You wouldn't have a lot of guns." Yeah, but I was raised like a redneck. My dad taught me how to shoot when I was 6 years old. And I really like cowboy stuff. You can use a 357 out of a rifle for deer too. I know you can. But I like the 30-30. I like the ballistics. I like the feel of the round. I think it's good. And I only need 6 rounds in the tube. It's fine. 4570 government is a hell of a gun. I almost went with that, but I don't actually need to kill a rhinoceros because there aren't any around here. You want to touch my gun? You may touch my gun. Ever thought about doing a vid on trepanning? I thought about it. It's pretty interesting. I thought that it would be kind of interesting to maybe look back on older medical procedures that we don't do anymore. There is small groups of people who still perform that procedure, which is really strange because it does actually do something. And in some cases, like we do in the West, in America, we do kind of similar types of surgeries, but not with like a power drill on the skull. It's more like removing a piece of skull to relieve pressure. Oregon has some of the best rednecks in America. You goddamn right. Yes. Jeff got himself one of the 2 guns they turned into sawed-offs. I have a very chopped shotgun, too. Sad that we didn't go shooting when I was out there. Dude, well, just come back out. Just come back out to Oregon Spectacular and we'll go shooting. We also didn't get a chance to go dune buggy riding. See, that's how you have a really good time. You rent dune buggies or ATVs, and then you go tearing ass into the woods until you get to a really good spot to go target shooting. And you shoot your guns, and then you go and you camp somewhere, and then you 4-wheel back out, and then go return all the shit. Yeah. Let me get another pause screen. Let's see. Oh, that's a good one. What fresh hell is this? What's up, Magog? Magog, I got a new gun. You're from a shitty state. You should appreciate a good gun. Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I had to do my parental duties.
Fair. State of Vegas says I want to stockpile some guns, not because I need them, but because I want to be a good nut with like 20 guns I never shoot. Yeah. It's pretty much kind of like what I do. See, the thing is, I was thinking about it. After I had to go and buy some expensive jewelry for Mems like a while back for Christmas. And I learned about the investment value of gems, which is nothing. They're worthless. Gold is worthless. Gems are worthless. Or just there's no good investment. Guns don't really depreciate that much in value. Unless you fuck them up, they're actually pretty good investments.
True. And the other side to it too is for all the preppers out there. If you guys are like stockpiling like massive racks of assault weapons and thinking that's going to protect you, keep in mind one person with a pistol, who you don't see, all of a sudden has new guns.
Yeah.
I've played Fallout enough. We all have.
Oh my god.
It's a training simulator. Let's be honest.
I wish I could find it. There's a brilliant AR make that somebody did in the vein of New Vegas. It looks so sexy. All like wood furniture and like wrapped bandages, distressed steel. Like it's just sexy as fuck. I'll have to look it up.
I you know what I love though is I love seeing all of the tactical kids who think that the SCAR is like the best weapon ever.
Oh fuck the SCAR, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what I've heard, what I've seen from reviews from like SEAL operators and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun rifle to take to the range, but then you get back into what the tactical set really is about because they're like, oh yeah, I'm prepared because I've got so much range time. Like, sorry, no, it don't work. And the thing is, it's got an ambidextrous reciprocating bolt. So. Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, it's great, so you can do it lefty or righty, but the thing is the bolt slides all the way back and then all the way forward each time, which means if you're trying to hold that shit nice and close, you can tear your fucking thumb up.
Yeah. This is not the first one that I was thinking of, but that one's pretty cool, too, where they do the wood furniture on an AR.
Oh,
yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah. And it's gorgeous. This is
absolutely gorgeous. This is the thing. I think we need to reincorporate wood into rifles.
Yeah.
Only because it holds up, and also because it just looks good. And let's be honest, if you're buying if you're stockpiling or buying a collection of fancy ass rifles, no, you're not prepping for the apocalypse. You just want to own some really cool weapons.
Or own the libs. Yeah, baby. Wait, what? Sorry.
I'm pretty sure that thing's not an intercontinental rifle, Jeff. But if it is, I'm impressed. Maybe. It's like, no, I got my angles just right. I know geometry. I know trigonometry. If I put it at a 35-degree angle up towards the sky, and I identify the North Star, then I can hit your neighbors.
All right, you know what? It's my turn. I'm gonna actually go throw this back in my safe and get some more ice, and I'll be right back.
No, well,
I don't want to keep fucking around with it because I'm gonna I don't know.
You don't fuck around with your rifle.
Well, the ammo's locked up, so I'll be right back.
No. I mean, don't fuck around with it because you're gonna end up breaking it. No. Yeah. Listen, you guys go ahead and you let me know in the chat there if you think Jeff is capable of somehow fucking up an otherwise unfuck-upable bolt, right? Now, lever action rifles, oof. Now, I gotta know, though, for the firearms enthusiasts in the chat, which do you think is a more fun classic rifle style? Lever action or bolt action? I'm kind of curious. And so let's see. Jable says also has been shown that guns with wood are less seen as threatening by the public. That's true. That's the fucking funny thing. I mean, Christ. I mean, here's the thing. I'm a good old school liberal, right? Now, if you could show me that gun control in the ways that it's touted by gun control enthusiasts could work, I would be behind it. But I know that it can't. Because for one thing, while we hear all of this bullshit about how AR-15s, dangerous, assault weapons, military-style rifles are killing people, the majority of gun deaths in the U.S., which honestly in the industrialized Western world, we're kind of leading the world in gun deaths. But those aren't done with fancy, polystyrene fucking rifles with carbon fiber grips. Like the enthusiast guns, the extended mag rifles with the forward grips, those are not what kill most people. It's Glocks. It's Browning high powers. It's pistols.
Yeah.
People will kill each other, and London has recently overtaken New York as the most deadly city with stabbings. The problem we have in this country is not a gun problem. It's a violence problem. It's because we are, unfortunately, apparently, brimming to the rafters with crazy, violent fucks or desperate fucking people who are living in shitty situations who see killing each other as the only way out of it. Now, until we can actually address the violence problem, guns are irrelevant. Ban guns, there'll be stabbings. Ban knifings, you know what we're going to get? We're going to get people with clubs. It's going to be like Moe from The Simpsons. He figured out that a bat with nails in it ultimately makes him the power.
The power. Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we're gonna come. That's what we're gonna come down to. American society is fucked not because of guns, but because of attitudes.
Yeah.
And poverty.
Too true. Very, very true. I had to get my other cowboy gun. I love this fucking thing too. The single action cowboy gun. Blink.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like I only have one gun and it's locked.
It's all good, man.
I really do want though.
I have a problem.
I want a lever action SBR.
That would be cool. You know what they had at the gun show today? Actually, here we'll get to the woman twerking in a minute. What they had at the gun show, and I almost got it just for the novelty sake of it. Do you remember in Terminator 2 his lever action shotgun? Yeah, they had one of those. And it wasn't sawn off, like the stock was still on it, so I'd have to take a fucking saw to it. But you know how much it was?
You'd have to get the tax stamp too. But yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, not
if
for
you
shotgun.
Yes, if you want a stockless SBR, it's the same as an SBR.
But
need
it's not
tax
a
stamp.
rifle. It's shotgun. It's not classified the same as a regular rifle. Also, the barrel length of it is still long enough that it doesn't classify as a short barrel. Choo.
Okay, so you really wanted to get the Terminator 2,
but
the T2.
The T2, yeah, $350. That's all it was. Because it's not the original. They don't make the original anymore. It's a really old gun now. Century Arms, which is a Chinese company, they make it.
Well, now what I've also heard though, like if you want a proper trench shotgun, and the real trench shotgun is the kind where it's pump action, but if you hold the trigger down, it fires each time you rack around.
Yeah.
Those are apparently rare and expensive now.
Yeah, sawed-off shotguns are pretty much universally illegal. Like I think the minimum barrel length for a shotgun is like 14 or 16 inches.
No, it goes with this. I'm pretty sure it goes along the same lines as a rifle, which is 18.
But there's no law that you put a pistol grip on a shotgun though. It's totally fine. 100%.
No, you can put a pistol grip on it. It's just that if you're going to go without a stock, and you're going to go 18 inches or below, that's basically you need an SBR tax stamp. It's like $300. So
200.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was funny because I was looking at a Stagecoach a couple years ago. Like, I love that. That's really what I want. I want a double barrel.
I'm not gonna get my dog shot by the ATF. I'm not chopping a barrel on a shotgun. No way, dude. It's not happening. I
want a double barrel Stagecoach, right? Like a nice little like a coach gun. And then when I was looking at one at the gun shop, which is about a mile away from my house here, I was looking at that, and I was just chatting with the clerk who was working the shop, and I showed up on my bike, and I was in my leather and shit, and he's like, "Oh, you a biker?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you should really get a tank holster for this thing, and then go get a machinist to chop it down, and you just do the tax stamp, and you could have yourself." Because at least here in New Hampshire, yeah, if you buy the shotgun, you pay a $300 tax stamp, and you can saw it off, and you can have a sawed-off double barrel, like a proper sawed-off,
right,
legally.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, you know a lot about guns and fucking nothing about biker culture, because if you've got a fucking tank holster and you park somewhere more than half an hour, you had a tank holster and it's gone.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so the other thing, and before we move off of guns, because we probably should. Not everybody likes guns. It gets kind of boring for some people. But there is one exception to the whole short shotgun thing. Mossberg recently came out with the Shockwave, and it is way, way shorter. Way shorter. And it is totally legal because it's not classified as a rifle.
Pistol, isn't it?
It's classified as like a weapon. It's not even classified as like a it's like one of those gray areas in firearms laws where it's just like, yeah, it's legal, but it's classified as a firearm. That's it.
I just love it though, because I've known 3 people in my state, and this is a biker and gun state. New Hampshire, like, I hate this place, but 2 things I cannot take away from it: it's biker friendly. Like, if you ride a bike that's not a rice rocket, you will probably never get pulled over, because there are way too fucking many Hells Angels here who ride unpatched and without their colors for the police to want to bother. Also, well, it's gotten to a point where we have a non-pursuit law with motorcycles here. So if you're riding a bike, cops light you up. If you run, they will not follow. They will not pursue at all. Because we've had lots and lots of those. And then we're also a very gun-friendly state. But I've had these. I've known some dipshits, like, they're like, oh, I got a brand new fucking Harley, fucking night train and shit like that, right? Like,
right.
All right, you can afford that. Yeah, I got a tank holster for my gun. Why? Oh, so I don't have to wear it while I'm riding. And then about like a month or 2 later, they'll show up like, oh my god, kid, somebody stole my tank holster. Like, wow.
Would
Really?
never have expected that.
Yeah, you strap some expensive leather to a thing you parked without doors.
Right. Yeah.
Well played.
All right. So let's move on.
Yeah, it's just something completely different.
The twerking, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You read this, and I'm just gonna keep playing it over and over again.
Yeah, you just play it. A shock traveler on the Missouri highway captured video of 2 women traveling atop a moving vehicle while twerking. The video shows 2 women performing the dance move atop a Chevrolet Suburban, proving that Darwin wasn't an idiot after all, as it drives on Interstate 64 near the Science Center in St. Louis, which was looking forward to adopting their corpses for further study. The woman who captured the video said it was filmed during Monday evening rush hour. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department said St. Louis County Police said they did not receive any calls about the incident because nobody gave a fuck, and they pretty much figured, well, if they fall off the truck, the worst thing it's going to do is fuck up my undercarriage. But the driver could face charges if they had been caught in the act. People are always looking for that attention to make them go viral, Missouri Highway Patrol Trooper Dallas Thompson told KMOV TV.
KMOV?
They don't... KMOV. No. But they don't realize it just takes a minor braking for them to fall off, slam onto the pavement, and get run over by another vehicle. Unfortunately, I think they all survived. The driver could be facing careless and imprudent driving because they're failing to give the highest degree of care while they're operating the vehicle, Thompson said. Meanwhile, the internet replied, why are they still alive?
Yeah, well, I mean,
They bred?
This reminds me of like all those videos from like Saudi Arabia where dudes get really, really bored, and so they start like they'll pop
Fucking
the car
goats
up.
and shit.
Yeah, and they'll like do they'll ride the SUVs, the Escalades and shit on like fucking 2 wheels, and they wipe out all the fucking time. People get fucking bored. They do stupid shit with their fucking cars, man.
Well, no, I mean, to be honest, like when you talk about like the kids from the Middle East, like that's not just, well, that's a mix of bored and I can destroy a vehicle and get another one, because what was it, like here in New Hampshire, in Manchester. They were Saudi. They were like cousins of some Saudi prince who were going to college here, and they used to love doing that shit. They'd buy Escalades, and they'd just like they'd tip them up on two wheels and just ride them around. And there was a couple times they tipped them over, and then they just said fuck it and had it dumped and destroyed and got a new one.
Yeah.
These same kids, it wasn't just bored, but it was privileged. I know. It's a weird thing to consider that Muslims could be privileged, but it was funny because one time they actually threatened my brother. Well, they really wanted to like bang one of my brother's female friends who wasn't into it, and she kept shooting them down. And they're like, "Bitch, I'll come and just take you." And they sent her that text while she was at a party with my brother and myself and his friends.
Oh no.
Well, yeah, my brother sent back a message like, "Yeah, you can come and try and take her, and we'll just fuck your asses up. And you can go the fuck back to where you come from." And they come like, and he was like showing some like $400 AK. He's like, "My man, I come through and get whatever I want." And so my brother's like, "Nick, you want to go get our guns?" I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Some Saudi kids." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Wow.
Yeah, no, Saudi princes, the Saudi royal family, every as far as I could tell, every tendril of the Saudi royal family, and I'm saying this on the record, and I hope YouTube and Susan don't get too offended. Every tendril of the Saudi royal family are hopeless shitbags, and I kind of feel bad because for all the Jews Hitler burned in the ovens, there were so many Saudis who just never needed to breed in the first place. So. Yeah, by the way, yeah, officially, fuck you, Saudi royal family, fuck you, Saudi Arabia, fuck you, Saudi embassy, and don't ever come back to New Hampshire again because, yeah, you guys got better guns than us, but we're a lot better than you. Bunch of hillbillies. Yeah, meanwhile, you're just like stroking, masturbating your fucking Colt pistol.
Stroking mine. It's actually a replica of the old Colt open top. But it's actually a Cimarron Arms. Yeah, it's a replica.
Sorry. Hang on. We got a serious issue. Does Rimshi not have a wrench?
No, I just fixed that. I just hooked them over then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they used to be like a black powder pistol, but Cimarron Arms they take classic guns like this and then they convert them over to like actual cartridge guns. So it's fun. It's a 44. It makes fucking heads into canoes.
Yeah, it's perfect for taking out a Confederate private when you were aiming at the sergeant.
Or an airplane. This fucking thing is really big.
Yeah, that. Okay, I love it because someone's like JSC Hong's like, well, that's not gonna be taken out of context. Meanwhile, it's like, okay, I can talk shit about the Saudis. We're actually gonna get in trouble because Jeff's gonna be blamed for taking out a fucking JetBlue airliner.
Shh. I mean, it's not like I'll be able to hide it. They'll hear this fucking thing. Anyway, so,
Watch it. It ends up being like Spirit Air, and Spirit Air's response is like, listen, we do not assure the safety of our vehicles, as you'd know if you'd ever traveled on our airline.
That's right. Yeah. Hayden White, no, I am not excited for the second season of Star Trek Discovery. No, I am not. I'm sorry, but the Spock looks like Charlie from Charlie Critical from Penguin. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Moist Meter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were calling the second season of Star Trek, the new Star Trek, Orville. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Orville's really
Now,
good, though.
I have to ask, Orville is worth watching?
Have you not watched it yet?
No.
I'll put it this way. Okay, so Next Generation. Okay. DS9 was a bit different, but still Star Trek, and it felt very Trek-y, even though it had like a kind of a different vibe and a twist to it. Voyager, still pretty Trek-y. When you watch the Orville, yeah, it's got a lot of modern day references. Yeah, it's like ultimately supposed to be funny, but the writing in it is better than, and this is just the first season that I've watched so far. The writing in it is better than 90% of the writing in Voyager. The writing is incredible, and the whole show actually feels like Star Trek. It feels like a real Star Trek show. Like this feels like the funny spiritual successor to The Next Generation. It's fucking amazing. It's incredible.
And now you are watching The Expanse right now, right?
I'm caught up, dude. I've been
Okay.
fucking woke as fuck on The Expanse since it came out.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
yeah.
No,
That's my
no.
crack, dude.
One more thing though. Have you seen the promotional image that came out for Picard?
I thought that was fake.
With the goatee?
I haven't seen that.
Go look it up. I mean, it's looking pretty fucking clutch. I'm hoping it's not going to blow up in our faces as so much that we love tends to do. But I gotta say, looking at Patrick Stewart, realizing that it's been 20 years since he played Picard, 15 years, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And just how I don't know how the fuck. Maybe it's just like smoking weed every day and lounging in ball pits, but I need to know his secret because this motherfucker looks no different.
It looks pretty good. Yeah, it's probably a lot
now-
of it is probably makeup. I can't find that picture. Somebody else will have to send it to me.
Functional is saying it was a fan creation.
Yeah,
If it
that's what I was thinking too. I thought it was a fan creation.
If it was a goddamn good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, like, I can understand him coming out and, like, he's trying to say, like, Discovery is Star Trek. And then everyone who loves Star Trek is like, I love you, Patrick Stewart. But no.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I need to ignore this because, for one thing, I mean, here's the thing. Here's a fucking fun question. I haven't even watched Discovery, but I've understood that they have, like, three-dimensional holographic technology for communication. That was introduced in Deep Space Nine as a new thing.
Yeah.
You do not get to fucking retcon an entire goddamn canon just because you want a side character from Walking Dead to be some monumental character that nobody likes.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Right.
And then you introduce Christopher Pike and say, oh, by the way, here's the Enterprise. By the way, the Enterprise also looks way more teched out than it ever did in the original series. Even though
that part doesn't really bother me.
every other fucking series that's ever gone back that far or forward, as far as Enterprise did too, all of them respected what that was.
70s aesthetic. Yeah, I get it.
60s aesthetic. Yeah,
60s,
meanwhile,
shit,
Star Trek meanwhile Discovery's like, listen, we're too woke to be bothered with you fucking nerds, okay? So
The one thing I liked about Discovery, was Michelle Yeoh's character. I liked her. I thought she was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
I love Michelle Yeoh. I've been watching, like, I've seen probably all of her kung fu movies.
Well, here's the thing though, is now she comes back and she's part of, what is it, Section 32?
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Right.
Yeah, and she's like, and she's committed genocide.
Yeah, and here's the sad thing too, and this is something I made a joke about it on Twitter like a couple days ago. This is the problem when it comes to, like, modern interpretations of what spy shit ought to be. The original Section 32, throughout every iteration of it in Star Trek, it's always been this really, like, surreptitious, subversive mind fuck of an organization. They're not there to be super spies who can drop in through the fucking vent shafts, do a spinning kick, throw a series of Chinese stars at people, and then just say, now I can access this with my superior hacking skills.
Yeah, they wanted her to basically be her character in Die Another Day. Or was it Die Another Day? No, the world is not enough. The world is not enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the fucking problem. This
Good
is, I mean,
Bond movie, by the way.
we got the same fucking thing with Mission Impossible. The original Mission Impossible, like, show, was great because it was all subterfuge, head games, disguises. We're gonna convince you are going through this thing just so we can get this information, and we got a little bit of that in the first Mission Impossible film, right? But
Sure.
then it was Tom Cruise, so we need explosions and him clinging onto helicopters and all this shit. And then from there on out, basically, the Mission Impossible series has been nothing more than Tom Cruise masturbating about what he wishes his life as a super spy could be.
Have you seen Fallout?
I heard it was really good.
It's really fucking good. Really
but it's a good action movie, right?
Yeah, it's mostly an action movie. But
It's
I mean,
not a spy movie.
Well, there's enough spy elements in it that I was pretty satisfied, but it is not. It's not a spy thrill. You're not gonna get like what's that Robert Redford one? The Robert Redford
Spy Games.
Spy Games. Good
Yeah.
fucking movie. Great fucking movie.
Oh yeah, no, and this is the trick though. I mean, like, we have, I think, as a culture, especially because, like, so we got Argo, right?
We start talking about Star Trek and movies, and like we suddenly get super animated and shit. Like,
Well,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's a fucking fair point. Like, you look at the movie Argo, right?
Yeah.
Possibly Ben Affleck's best film in any capacity.
Good Will Hunting was great.
Well, no, Argo was, but that was Matt Damon. But I mean,
It's
Ben
fun.
Affleck did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but no, my point is though, is Argo showed what spy works really are like. Well, kind of. Like, it's a lot of like telling lies and hoping no one asks questions, and then going about your business and getting your shit done. And that's where the tension comes in. Right. Modern spy, anything. If you say spy, most people think I'm dangling from a rope and shooting people with like a super silenced pistol, and then I'm doing super kung fu everywhere. And that's what we're gonna get from Michelle Yeoh's Section 32 performance. And we're gonna get an entire element of Star Trek, which was brilliant in its inception. When they were trying, when Section 32 tried to fucking lure Dr. Bashir into being a traitor just so that they could prove he wasn't.
Right.
That was brilliant. That was like, okay, these people are fucking terrible. This makes NSA look like a goddamn picnic. And now we're just gonna get like this bullshit Mission Impossible. She's gonna show up with like 2 katanas on her back and slaughter a bunch of fucking Klingons with them. And that's gonna be what we get.
I was gonna say, like, Good Will Hunting was written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. That's probably why I was. Yeah, I got that was Gus Van Sant who directed.
Well,
so.
Well, yeah, and to bring it back honestly to the Orville and to Seth MacFarlane's humor, I do kind of I gotta give him some credit because I have a feeling he's pretty right when it comes down to like his impression of how Good Will Hunting was. So Matt Damon's sitting there and he writes the whole film, and Ben Affleck's just lounging on the couch getting stoned like, hey, but what about that scene I suggested? Can I get a co-write credit?
You gotta give Ben Affleck some fucking credit though. Argo was amazing. Gone Baby Gone was fucking incredible. That Gone Baby Gone. Gone.
Oh, and Daredevil?
Shut up. Jesus Christ.
No, here's the thing. Ben Affleck as a filmmaker, like as an actor, he's pretty good. He's all right. No, he's all right. As a filmmaker, he has amazing amount. Like he's a very deep well of potential.
Yeah.
He doesn't always find that potential.
No.
But it's there, and it's demonstrated. And like, yeah, I mean, Argo deserved its win.
Argo, fuck yourself. That was in the movie. Argo, fuck yourself. You remember that?
Was that John Goodman?
No. No, they were talking. They were just that was kind of like their inner joke of how the movie's never gonna get made, and like Argo, fuck yourself.
Okay,
anyway.
Hayden White just asked, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, great spy film.
Good movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Fucking brilliant. Gary Oldman, I think.
Yeah, no, it was Gary Oldman. It was just one of those films. That's one of those films. It's kind of like those like big series. Like I'm hesitant to get into big binge-worthy series because I know they will absorb my life.
It's a movie.
And that kind of film, but that kind of film was the kind of film I know, like, if I watch this, I'm going to like lose myself in it, and it's going to be like, it'll be like a 2 a.m. thing, like, I feel like watching a movie. All right, I'll check this out, and then all of a sudden it's like 6 a.m. Like, all right, not only is it late or early, but I can't get to sleep because I have to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, I feel that. Dragon of the West says, I'm still convinced that Robert Redford is really Brad Pitt's dad. If not, I just wanted a movie where that happens. They look similar. Citron says, hey boys, in case you haven't yet, let's get some love for the Lords of the Night. They just hit their 2 years of their show. Pinkies up to Lords of the Night. Thank you, buddies. Cheers to you. Okay. So the last thing that we were going to talk about I really don't want to watch it. I really don't. You know what? You know what we're gonna do? This is what we'll do. I'm gonna mute it and we'll let it play because everybody's already fucking seen this.
Yeah, we've already seen this thing.
Yeah, everybody's already fucking seen it, and we'll just talk about it. We'll just have a chat about this Gillette razor ad. For those who aren't aware, which is nobody, Gillette made this ad. Basically, the end result of it is how, basically, we as a society need to move beyond ideas of toxic masculinity. And okay, let me ask you, what did you think of this ad?
I thought it was basically like, if I could ever see the metaphor for a company shooting itself in the dick, this was it.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, listen. I mean, there's
like to get a broader subset because I can't rely on the internet to give me an idea of how people react to it because the only time I'm ever going to hear anything about this ad is when people either think it's amazing or they think it's shit, and everybody on Twitter thinks it's shit, but all of my friends on Facebook are like, it's a good ad.
No, let me give you this, right? So the reason that I think it's shit, it's not just because it's like, oh, we're gonna say men are toxic and like, you know, the MRA fucking line, right?
Right.
It's not even so much that. Gillette is doing the exact same thing that Candace Owens, that the Young Turks, that Lee Camp, that Paul Joseph Watson, that Sargon of Akkad, that the Quartering, every one of these sad fucks have done. And that's basically recognize, tap, and exploit a ready-made market of outrage mongers who don't even necessarily think that they're outrage mongers. They think that they're going to stand up for a righteous fucking cause. And basically what they've done is, on the one hand, they've reached out and excited a whole bunch of people who probably don't shave anyway. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The woke male feminists and the Women's March crowd, none of them actually shave.
Not big shavers.
No, they're not big shavers. No. And at the same time, the same time, this desperate attempt to tap into what they believe to be a cultural zeitgeist is as pathetic an attempt as the "we must own the libs" or "we must destroy the Trumpists" or any of that shit. This is a bad fucking marketing move. You can see why it might seem like a good one at the outset, because it is a readily available, easily exploitable. Let that last part really sink in. Easily exploitable. Because if you're the kind of person who falls for bullshit like toxic masculinity, or if you're somebody who thinks you need to be red-pilled, you're probably a fucking moron who's easily deceived by people with very clever and well-crafted lines designed to bring you into their way of thinking. Gillette was banking on this, but they made the wrong bet, probably. Here's the thing, they probably could have sold more razors to the fucking InfoWars crowd, let's say, or the fucking red pill set, if they'd have been like, fuck yeah, Trump's our president, fireworks, jets, guns, shaving, right? They could have made more money that way. Because that side of the thing, they shave more, as we could see by those little preteens harassing that fucking native guy today. But also, they will fall for anything. Gillette, if you're watching, I know you're a big fan of the show. By the way, this episode of YouTube Saints brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club, can't wait till you reach out to us for a sponsorship deal. But
we're waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting. But yeah, here's the thing. Like, if you're gonna market to people, right, you got to figure out which ones are gonna do it. Now, if they'd have done a commercial, basically, right, which is like only pussy ass cuck faggots wear beards. Shh. Totally red-pilled, bro. They would have fucking sold razors, because the regressive left, as it's called, these kids will stand up for anything. You know? But what you're missing as marketers is that the red pill set on the other side of things, they will literally fall for anything. Anything.
Anything?
Candace Owens. End of fucking story, bro.
Yeah, she's dumb.
Yeah,
I hate Candace Owens. She sucks.
Yeah, but no, this whole campaign, it's a desperate attempt to basically tap into what is already a stale meme, perpetuated by the woke set, and they think Colin Kaepernick, who clearly doesn't shave himself, that, like, I mean, who the fuck are these dude bros saying boys will be boys just before we get Anna fucking Kasparian? I mean, I'd love to see what's a big competitor, Schick. I want to see a Schick ad with Anna Kasparian saying, I am fucking better than you, right?
That'd be pretty great, actually. That'd be funny.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that shit, because this whole batch of woke red pill marketing. Because here's the sad thing too, when marketers and companies start noticing that this wokeonomics bullshit doesn't work anymore, they're gonna try and get the red pill kids. And when they go for the red pill kids, they're gonna have a very robust amount of short-lived success. Which will show them also that, like, their market is a dog shit market. Like, just tell me how the fucking razor cleans my face, huh? Just show me how it cleans my face and doesn't give me dry skin, and I'll be fucking happy. But if your point is to point out how, like, I need to shame my I need to shame my wife's son into conforming to some sort of gender norms that you have been told through your media team is what we're going for. It ain't even that I'm not going to want to buy your razors, because honestly, you motherfuckers are still trying to sell 3 of those blade heads at $12 a pop. Go fuck yourselves.
So, here's my opinion on the whole Gillette thing. Let you go off and rant for a little bit. Here's my opinion on it. It was fine. It's fine. And I just the minute there's anything like more to it than just like I just no.
I honestly really wanted to actually wanted to produce a video on my channel where I make a big point of throwing away my Mach 3 razor head because it's disgusting and gross and filthy and unforgivable. The fact that I've had this thing for like a year and a half, and it's pretty fucking gross at this point, so I'm getting rid of this shit. So you go, Gillette, I swear to Christ, if you can't make your razor heads last 5 years, I'm gonna have to buy more of them.
So Matt's in the chat. He says, doesn't anybody remember the backlash to the Pepsi ad from a couple years ago that was the same shit? It wasn't. It was different. That was funny. Funny ass memes came out of that. Funny ass.
That's
nothing
true.
funny is coming out of this. Nobody who's like making a fucking video about the Gillette stuff. Aside, Derek made a really funny video. Derek knows how to make funny videos. Yeah, because Derek's talented.
Derek's a funny guy.
But
yeah.
all the rest of the fucking pro clutching MAGA crowd, fuck you, Gillette. It was not funny. It wasn't funny. It was dull and boring, and your videos suck. And just shut the fuck up.
You bring up a really good point here, though, Jeff, because here's a funny thing. And, like, you know what? So recently, like, I got into a bit of a Twitter spat with ye old Sargon of Akkad, the guy who he flat out.
I don't want to talk about Sargon anymore.
Hang on, you
at
gotta
all.
have to. No, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer through this because it's worthwhile. Because one of the common things that came up, and like it's a fucking common MAGA talking point. The left can't meme, but the fact is that like the modern right. It's like you can only see Pepe so many times before you're like, that's boring and old, and might as well do Uganda Knuckles at this point, fellas. But I'm actually even starting to see that, thankfully, blessedly, happily, a lot of like more liberal-minded people are actually coming back to the notion that instead of being outraged and shit, making fun of shit and making jokes can actually work in your favor, right? And now when we see that, we keep hearing the left can't meme, but what have we seen about the Gillette shit? It's not been memes. It's been shitty outrage culture.
It's just people
bullshit.
whining, being boring, and
Are we Are we seeing the worm turn once again so we can get another batch of migraine-inducing yet hopefully funny
Gamergate
shit?
2, gamers
Shit
rise
of-
up! Woo! Fucking,
Woo,
everything
woo,
sucks and
woo.
it's boring. MC Lucas says, sometimes I just wish I could take some drug or pill that made me lose my conscience so I could completely capitulate to this toxic masculinity narrative so I didn't need to think about it anymore. Either way, get me out of here. I'm done with this shit. Yeah, no, me too, man. Me too. It's the internet is so dull and boring, and most people don't have any fucking fun anymore. Everybody wants to have a crusade, and it's stupid. Just have fun. People want to have fun. People don't want to go on the fucking internet. I mean, some people do. That's all people have in their lives is to get on the internet and get all fucking worked up about something and act like a fucking idiot. But for the love of fuck, man, life is stressful. Life is stressful. Like, you gotta work, you gotta deal with family members, and I mean, my family is great, but I mean, like, a lot of times people have, like, shitty families or shitty friends.
All the families suck. Fuck those families.
Responsibilities that are fucking awful. You want to be able to unwind, you want to relax, you want to have a good fucking time. And then the people that you've been watching suddenly are just like, everything sucks and we need to make a big political movement out of it. Fucking shut up.
Almost, you know what I really wish someone would do? Is do like a weekly video series where they just talked about good news.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if somebody did that.
Yeah.
It would take an absolute fucking genius to try that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much. We had this one last thing. Do you want to look at it, or should we save it for Wednesday?
Oh, no, let's just bring it up now. Fuck it. Here's a fucking. No, it's a great thing.
This feels like something that's gonna piss me off. Is it?
It might.
Ugh.
It might.
I don't want to be pissed off anymore.
Well, no, I mean, don't get pissed off. Just look at it as hilarious and retarded.
All right.
Which it is. So we got a double cringe tonight. The other cringe, Yelp reviewers' authenticity fetish, is white supremacy in action. You can read this.
God damn it. Okay, fine. Yelp reviewers' authenticity fetish is white supremacy in action. According to a study of Yelp reviews for New York City restaurants, judging restaurants by authenticity tends to put non-white owners in a trap. What the fuck? Okay, actually, this is a good one for me, because I just recently went back and watched my Cook's Burritos video, and I got all pissed off at that shit again, like... Yeah. Over grilled cheese sandwiches at a pub on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, a friend and I discussed our favorite topic, eating. Oh. Up for debate this lunchtime was Foursquare. She explained that the review-driven app allowed users to rate restaurants on a multitude of factors. We reviewed our current restaurant to explore how it worked. Good for kids? Sure. Vegetarian-friendly? Not really. Authentic? Skip. Whoa. I have to just slow down. What does authentic mean in this context, and how do I judge the authenticity of my grilled cheese sandwich? Fuck me. The term authenticity is everywhere. Pundits claim that millennials crave it. Restaurants boast authentic dining experiences, and Foursquare asks us to make judgments about it. These claims, often used by markers of quality, are employed by diners and restaurateurs alike, often used by owners to evoke a homespun or faraway romanticism. Nowhere does it come into play more than on user-based review sites like Yelp. This is a long article, and I hate you.
Yeah, he gets skim through it.
Okay. I've read and studied 20,000 Yelp reviews. Oh, okay. Part of my thesis as a master's student at New York University in the Food Studies program. Food Studies. I can tell you a lot about what I concluded in the depths of the internet. The word authentic in food reviews supports white supremacism, and Yelp reviews prove it. I hate you so much right now.
I love myself a little bit more.
I am... All right, hang on. All right. Wait, Stranger Days is coming out tonight? What?
Oh, he does that every...
No. Matt is doing a stream after the stream. Yeah, you guys should all go hang out with Matt once we're done with this. There are over 17 million restaurant reviews on Yelp from over 30 different countries. Of course, not all of these reviews support white supremacy or even mention authenticity. Fuck off. I narrowed I hate you so much. I narrowed my data collection reviews from New York and focused my field even further by picking from Zagat's top 10 most popular cuisines in New York City. Mexican, Thai, Japanese, Chinese, French, Italian, Korean, and Indian, adding Mediterranean and soul food based on recent dining trends. Over the course of 6 months, blah, blah, blah. Read 100 reviews. Recording how often commenters use the term authenticity or its synonyms like legitimate, or the phrases like, this made me feel like I was in Mexico. 7% of the 20,000 reviews I read contain some sort of authenticity language. While I don't know anything about the specific demographics of the reviewers I studied. Trends in the reviews I read reflect some of the more troubling themes often seen on the internet these days. In particular, the large sample size of reviews reflects the dominant culture, one which is continuously and historically rooted in favoring the white Eurocentric experience. Can you sum this up for me?
Basically, we win again, but also this bitch.
Go
reviewed-
whites.
Yep.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah. No. Pump the brakes there, Worski. Okay. So what I'm. This woman actually used all of this reviewing Yelp reviews as part of her master's thesis there. She got a master's degree by pointing out that Yelp reviews of people who really wanted authentic cuisine was an expression of white supremacy. Basically, I have a feeling Tariq Nasheed decided he was going to gender swap himself and become a food critic. But this is what we get. This is a master's degree. Keep in mind, and I'm gonna say, like, we've got 94 people watching, so like the odds are pretty fucking good right now. There were people who had genuine desires for genuine degrees to go into real fields that mattered, so they could, help the world get better, and they were maybe allowed to because financing and all of this shit. Yet this unfortunate tart was able to read a master's thesis reading Yelp reviews and coming to the conclusion that people who wanted authentic style cuisine were white supremacists. So I have to wonder if this bitch went and ate at that Portland food truck that was shut down because they went and got the abuela's recipes directly from them.
Cook's burritos, yeah.
Yeah,
What's the name of this
wonder.
fucker?
I gotta wonder. Yeah, let's.
Sarah K. No, it's a different person.
No, that's the author of the article.
Yeah. Sarah K.
Yeah.
The other one had a really specific.
Yeah, this
name.
is ridiculous. Now, this is another video coming up soon on my channel, which I'm sure at least 2 or 3 of you watch. The genuine cultural appropriation that goes on in this world is not white people from other people or other people from other people. You know who it is? It's the corporate establishment that the supposed classical liberals now seem really happy to fucking promote, so long as it owns the libs. It's the actual genuine fucking enemy of the people. The corporate fucking oligarchy out there. The ones who will take any and every conceivable angle in order to fucking own you and your attention span and to keep you buying shit you don't need. Because it started, it started a long time ago, but let's even consider the fact that the Doors, without Jim Morrison's approval, gave Goodyear Tire the rights to use Baby Light My Fire to sell fucking tires. Now, consider the fact that we're about 1 or 2 steps shy of having Arby's use SoundCloud auto-tuned rap tunes to sell you fake meat. If you want something to be upset about, and you want someone to point the finger at, saying they're destroying this culture, there's a corporate oligarchy who is still owning and ruining everything around you. So if you can get over your basic bitch hard on for whatever your political opponent might be at the time, and actually realize that Pfizer, that Goodyear, that that KBR, any number of these companies have been fucking you over and then convincing you that it's a good thing while using cleverly marketed ad campaigns. Let's even look at Pepsi using Kendall Jenner putting peace to a protest. Or let's use Gillette saying that men, while you shave, consider not raping a woman. Just think about it.
Just consider it.
Yeah, these people are fucking manipulating you. And for all you faggots out there right now who are really upset about the fact that Gillette used some feminist bullshit to try and sell you razors, be upset about the fact that Gillette was trying to sell you razors using that. How stupid do you think they think you are? So on that, this the 90th episode. Finally, we reached 90. We went through 8.5. We went through 8.75. We finally reached episode 90. Arlie Ermy kissing Jack Black. Wonderful outro to the show. Please check yourself before you wreck yourself by looking like a fucking idiot and recognize who your real fucking enemy is.
Yeah, what he said. Thanks so much for joining us on a Saturday edition of the YouTube Saints, which was done so I could go and watch Neil Breen. And we love you. We think the world of you. We want to tongue kiss you deeply.
As the president of the bank, I resign.
We'll see you Wednesday on the Twitch channel for the Midweek Saints, and then back here on Friday for the regular YouTube Saints. And got a few interesting guests coming up here. Actually, rather expediently. I got somebody locked in. If you don't have somebody locked in for next week,
you can tell me that as soon as we go off air.
I'll tell you that as soon as we go off air.
And totally do not go off air and then tell me something that's not true, because that would.
Right. Okay. No, I know. It's fine. We love you guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. Dude, it's totally fucking Steven Seagal. I swear to God.
Oh.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. No fucking shit. Although, I have to say, it was not easy to land him. I, first I had to get in touch with his agent. And he was like, are you being serious right now? And I'm like, no, actually, I want him to be on the show. And he's like,
listen, I just need to know, like, did you tell him who your co-host was? Because there was that one time it was at the fucking Delta Hub in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I saw, and I'm like, Steven Seagal, holy shit, dick puncher, and I punched him in the dick. And then, like, I got arrested, and he had to be brought off in the stretcher. And I was just wondering, does he know I'm the co-host? And if he does, is he over that?
I'm glad I didn't mention it, though, so we're going to have to spring it on him. Anyway, so I had to talk to the agent, right? And he's like, okay, well, I'll send word to Steven. Apparently, he had to send a certified letter to China. China then had to take the letter, put it on a Sherpa, by which they actually, like, stapled it to his body so that he didn't have to hold it. And he wouldn't lose it as he climbed and scaled the mountains of Tibet. Then he got to, like, the first shrine, where they then had to, like, attach it to a fucking pigeon, and the pigeon flew up to the fucking monastery. And then Stephen, in a period of like, nirvana-infused bliss, apparently awoke from his existential surfing through the metaphysical cosmos, read it, and sent back a reply and said, sure.
Well, you know,
so...
I'm kind of glad to hear that, because honestly, like, I mean, the simple fact that we had to light the fires of fucking Gondor in order to get Steven Seagal media attention that wasn't just basic cable.
Right.
I'm glad he was receptive to that, and I hope when he comes on the show next week that he forgives me for saying dick punch instead of cock puncher.
Right. I mean,
I know.
He doesn't seem like that petty of a man, you know? Anybody who dresses like that doesn't seem like they're very petty.
Well, it's basically like being a fan of Citizen Kane and then saying, like, Rose Blossom.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it'll be a really good show. I can't wait to get you know, him and Alex Jones on at the same time so they can agree on everything.
I don't think he's that bad.
Well, we'll see in a couple weeks, I suppose.
I guess we will. As soon as he manages to come down off of his mountain.
It's gonna be really, like, upsetting to him, though, when he comes, like, onto the show and discovers, like, we have no audience left because we've been called cucks too many times on the internet. I hope he doesn't catch on to that.
Yeah, well, you know, let's just hope nobody leaks it to him on Twitter.
Yeah, thankfully he's been using nothing but Chinese internet, and if there's one thing we know about Chinese internet, there's only so much shit gets through, so...
Hey, we should try and get on the Chinese internet. That'd be good. We'd probably be huge in China. By which
Well,
by which I mean we'll be the tallest people on there.
No, that's really true. And if there's one thing we know about the internet, is that if you really want to like stand out as an anti-authoritarian, you just need to champion authoritarian regimes to the ends of the earth until people like ask you why you're doing that.
Yeah, too true.